Hi, welcome back. Today, we are looking at where a relationship in your life is headed. I do expect more romantic relationships to come through, but if you have another type of connection on your mind, please just use your discretion to disregard any messages that are romantic in nature. If you are thinking about a relationship that is wonderful in most respects and you don't have a lot of questions around it, this probably won't be your reading. It's more for connections where there may be some uncertainty at the moment. Okay, so let's take a closer look at your options. We have 4 groups to choose from today. For group 1, we have Copper, and we are using the Pagan Witch Tarot. For group 2, we have Vanadinite, and we are using the Anime Food Tarot. For group 3, we have Fluorite, and we are using the Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. For group 4, we have Pyrite, and we are using the Mystic Fairy Tarot. Okay, take all the time you need to choose. Hit the pause button if you need more time to think, and meet me in your reading when you're ready. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Copper and the Pagan Witch Tarot. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at a relationship on your mind today and where it is currently headed. We will start with an energy check. So you should know within that amount of time whether or not this is a reading for you. If things are familiar, stay till the end so that you can find out where the relationship is going. If things are not familiar, please try another reading or another group. Let me give these another shuffle or two, and we'll start pulling your cards and we'll get into the energy check. With the energy check, we're going to look at the current energy or dynamic between the two of you, and then we'll get some information about your role and your feelings and their role and their feelings. It is possible the energy could be switched. So if you find yourself on their side instead of your side, that's okay. Just go with what connects. But my intention will be you and them. Then after we do the energy check, we'll get into a little bit more about the relationship and then into where it's going. Okay. So for group 1, can we get some information about the current energy or dynamic between group 1 and their person? We have Strength. We have the 7 of Swords. Okay, so tell me about group 1. What is their role in this right now? What are their feelings? What are their expectations? The 3 of Pentacles. The 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Cups. Okay, let's look at group 1's person on their mind. We have the Hanged Man. The 8 of Swords. And the 10 of Wands. Okay, let me make sure we can see all of these, or I can. I don't know if you can. Okay, that's good enough. Well, I have to say, hopefully you'll know pretty quickly whether or not this is your group, because this is not a relationship that is going well. Okay. So if you have something that you're excited about and that you're having like hopeful feelings about, you're just kind of uncertain where it's going, this would not be your group. I mean, let's get a little bit further into it, but I also don't think that this is like a newer person in your life, because there are some more intense energies. So it does make me think that this is someone who's been around for at least a bit, and it has been difficult. So I wonder if it's gotten into a more like, you're wondering where it's headed, but maybe it's also a like, should I stay, should I go situation? Because it doesn't seem like it's feeling that great for either person, honestly. So like I said, I do want to start with these cards we pulled in the middle for the energy and the dynamic between you right now. And then we'll get into more you and this other person. So we have strength and we have the 7 of Swords. And it feels like, I wonder if you're not in contact with this person, or you're in some sort of separation with them, or your energies feel very disconnected in some way, like you're on 2 different pages, or it feels like either one or both of you sort of feels like a little bit betrayed, or like you guys are not seeing eye to eye. So I wonder if, I think there's a lot of complex feelings going on here between the both of you, and that part of you taking space, if you are taking space, is to gather your strength and to maybe talk to other people in your life or your lives in order to better prepare for like a conversation with this person, or to figure out what to do. It does feel like either you both think you're right, or like, you know, I kind of keep thinking like this is you and this is them. And again, it's like, it's less about the dynamic between you right now and that you're on 2 different pages. Like I kind of feel like you are in a more abundant energy, and this person is more in a lack energy, and you may not be feeling very abundant right now, but it feels like either you have community around you that you can rely on, or it's like your spirit guides and your angels are really surrounding you right now with like care and healing and comfort, because whatever you're going through with this person does seem like it isn't really great. And so you may be feeling very tired or very worn out or very unsure of what to do. And I think that also it's possible that you kind of think you're right about some things, and that you might be right. Like it's like some things don't feel right here. I feel like maybe you're being controlled, or like you're not being respected or seen for who you really are or something. And so you're starting to question, or you have been questioning for a while, whether or not this is healthy for you, because it seems like you have healthy energy around you. You may or may not be aware of it. Like, again, it could be friends and family. It could be your spirit guides and angels, and you may be aware of them. You may not be aware of them, but it feels like there's a lot of concern about you because there's a lot of love for you. And it seems like, you know, if this is you wearing all white, it kind of feels like there's a purity to you, like an innocence to you. And I'm not calling you like innocent and naive, but there's something about you that is very wholesome, I want to say. And that like all these animals feel safe around you, you know? So you may be the type of person that animals are drawn to, or kids are drawn to, or people are drawn to. Like you may have a very nurturing quality. And I think that you've had to have a lot of strength in dealing with this person and this relationship because it has been challenging. Again, I think you've been at odds. I think you have misunderstood one another. And with this 7 of Swords, I do wonder if this person has done some things to betray your trust or take from you in some way in order to further their own interests. Like there may be some selfishness, but you know, this 7 of Swords, and I like the Seven of Swords, and it doesn't give me like tons of bad vibes. So I also think that maybe this person, if they have done something to betray you, if they've been dishonest, if they've taken something, I think they almost don't even think it's bad, or they don't see it as that bad. They may think that they're taking back their power. They may think that by having some more control over the situation, everything is better off, without realizing that they're maybe being controlling of you. But it's like they have this kind of survivor mindset. So I don't know if they grew up having to fend for themselves a lot, like maybe their parents weren't around, or their caretakers weren't around, or they left home early or something and had to figure out a lot of things on their own. There's something about them that's very survivalist in a way that I think is harmful to their close relationships, or certain close relationships, where they're kind of out for themselves, but I don't think they're always even aware of it. But it's like always kind of like top of mind in a way, even if it's not conscious. It's always like, well, how can I get mine? How can I make sure that I'm okay? And it seems like you might have a more community mindset that comes through as like more loving and more open. And it's not that this person isn't loving or capable of love, but it seems like you might have more ability to be compassionate, understanding, to think of everyone's needs rather than just your own. And that's part of the reason that there's all this loving energy drawn to you. And this person is always kind of on their own. They always have like this backpack and this walking stick, and they're always kind of like hidden behind this tree, like always being a little bit shady and having like all these things they take with them, but it feels like they hide it away. Like this backpack has a bunch of things in it that they feel they need, but they won't reveal what's in the backpack. I hope this is making some sense, because it does feel a little bit vague, but I don't want to. Hopefully, if that makes sense, let's go into you and them. And if this continues to make sense, go ahead and stay for the duration of the reading. So, okay, so when we look at you and we look at your role right now in this relationship, we have this Three of Pentacles. And their role is this Hanged Man. Okay, so let's pull these forward so we can take a look. So it seems like, both of these images has three figures, and it's like in some way there is some working together. But I think that on your end, you're more willing to work together as three equals and it's not that there are three of you, but it just in this card, but it's like you're willing to work with this person as an equal to do things for the greater good, to make magic happen, to forgive and forget and to move forward, to communicate, to create something that benefits the whole, that benefits you and them and anyone else. And so there's a strong feeling of being willing to cooperate and being really cooperative and being really equal when it comes to give and take. And while it seems like in this Hanged Man, there's three people working toward a common goal, I mean, maybe, but it's a little scary. Like, it's like these two are tying this person up and blindfolding her. And then we see some like dark figures with fire in the background. And so it's like, what fate awaits her that she doesn't get to see what lies before her? So it kind of seems like this person is less about working together toward a common goal, but rather they could be quite controlling in an effort to accomplish what they want to accomplish. It sort of feels like, I kind of feel bad saying this, but it feels like they're trying to feed their demons. Like it kind of seems like back here, this is their demons, and in order to feed their demons, they have to control who they're close to or control this other person, which would be you. And so their role right now in this relationship is trying to control you, control your perspective, not let you see what they've got kind of buried beneath them, which is, their quote unquote demons. I don't know exactly what that looks like in this person, but it feels like, they're also trying to blindfold you. Like they're trying to, maybe this comes through as gaslighting or hiding things that you need to know or lying to you. it's making me think about like triangulation too, and that they're using someone else against you in some way. Or if this is a third party, they are both lying to you. It could be like someone you know. And I think that you would be pretty aware of that by now if that was the case. And maybe that's why you're maybe not talking to them, which is what it feels like kind of, or you're not connected in a healthy way right now. But you are trying to work together. This person is trying to get their own needs met. And I don't know that it's malicious, but they do seem to have you have this more open energy where you are more loving, communicative, and community-based. Again, in the sense that you want everyone to feel good. You want everyone to have their needs met. This person is out for themselves. So it really goes to show the big difference in your roles right now in this relationship. Let's look at how you're currently feeling. So we have the 5 of Swords for you, and we have the 8 of Swords for this person. So you might both be in your head. You might both be overthinking. You might be both having a lot of thoughts about this. So even if this person is maybe toxic in some way or not healthy, they're still thinking a lot about this. I don't think that they want separation. I don't think that they want things to have like ill will between you at all. And yet I don't think they're facing their own demons. So the 8 of Swords is often about being stuck. And I don't like this. So for some of you, this isn't going to be for everyone. But this is making me look at the Hanged Man and then this 8 of Swords. So, sorry, sometimes I don't know if they're on camera because I'm not paying attention. So it almost looks to me like this person who has been blindfolded in the Hanged Man is now in the 8 of Swords right here, tied up and blindfolded. And these two people who tied her up are now holding hands here in the foreground. So I do think for some of you, and again, I think you would know about this, there is a third party, someone that they have gotten involved with in some way, whether that is romantic or not, and that there are things being hidden from you, and that you might know part of the truth, but you might not know the whole truth. So I don't like this. That's not necessarily going to be the case for everyone, but I have to point it out for who it is the case for, and it should be confirmation for somebody. Yeah. And it's like, they want you to be controlled in some way. They may not see it that way, but they want to get away with something. And it may not be another person, but they do want to get away with something, and they want you to not know about it. And it's like it's becoming sunset and getting dark, and it's like they want you to be in the dark about something. So this is kind of not even fully about their feelings, although it's possible they could feel in the dark about some things. Like if you're not in contact and you're not telling them about your life, they could feel in the dark right now about some things happening in your life. But if that's the case, it does seem like they're involved with someone, and they're like maybe pretending that it's wonderful and hunky-dory and all this stuff, but they're still thinking about you. Yeah, I don't like their energy. It feels very gross and dishonest. And so I really do hope you're vibing with the right side where we are looking at your energy, because if you're vibing with the left side, I'm sorry if I called you gross and dishonest. But I don't like the energy on the left. It feels like very, very selfish and quite manipulative. When we look at how you're feeling, it's not good either. Okay. So, but again, it's like you still have this desire. I think this extends past this person and just in your life. You seem to have this desire of having equal relationships. You really do care about equal give and take, reciprocity. And again, you're not just out for yourself. You're always thinking about other people. You're always thinking about what they need too, or what they would want, or what would make them happy. For some reason, it's making me feel emotional. It's making me feel like crying. It's like, let's stand on our own together. Let's put our power together to create something beautiful. I think that somehow you really see how the combination of people's energy is magic, and that when two or more people give, it creates something really beautiful and really wonderful. And when someone gives and someone takes, and that's the dynamic all the time, it can really drain the energy. It's like, two half people don't make a whole. It makes a half. Two whole people make a whole relationship. And so you seem to understand that this person does not. And so even though the Five of Swords is often about conflict, and we tend to see one person winning and one or two other people losing, here we see both people winning together. And so you either still hope that there's some type of way to move through this relationship where you both win, even if the relationship ends. It's like somehow we can do this in a way where it's not harmful. And you still care. You still care about this other person. You still care about everyone being okay and having what they need. And this other person cares about themselves. And I think they have a really childish mindset in a way, like they never grew up inside. And it feels like, it feels like they're out for themselves because they don't know anything else, but it gives me a stomach ache when I focus on it. So I don't like it. Let's look at the expectations that you're both having right now in this relationship. And we have the 10 of Wands for this other person's energy, and we have the 5 of Cups for yours. So, okay, so I think you're expecting this possibly to end. You're focused on these spilled cups. You're focused on the grief side of this. Like, you may be feeling very emotional around this, rightfully so if you are. And so you may be expecting to continue to have a lot of emotions around this and that it could go bad. But I think it's actually like you think it could go either way, because this 5 of Cups also is like a sunny, bright day. We have another person here holding these cups. So I think that you're possibly hoping that this person is going to turn around and say, like, I'm sorry. Like, this is what I meant by this. I was being selfish. Like, take accountability, this kind of thing. It's like we have someone holding 2 cups. It makes you think of the 2 of Cups. And so I think that part of you still hopes for the 2 of Cups, that hopes you'll be on the same page, that you will be understanding one another. There's a lot of emotion in this group. I keep feeling like I could just burst into tears. And I think you keep trying to find meaning in the ways that you've been hurt in this relationship, and you keep trying to find understanding for this other person, and it's very painful. And again, there's this continued hope that like you'll turn around and they'll be like, I'm so sorry. I was wrong, and let's figure this out together. And it makes me want to cry. So I'm going to go over to this other person and focus on this. They have the 10 of Wands. So right now their expectations and their feelings about this are like, interesting. We also have these spilled cup here. That's so interesting. And they also, the 10 of Wands always brings to mind burdens. So I wonder if in some ways they're seeing this relationship as a chore right now, as a burden. And I don't say that to hurt your feelings. I just want to be honest with what I feel, and you will know whether or not that's true. I just want to remind you, if you're ever listening to a reading and you're like, oh, this just feels bad. Like, I was scared that you shouldn't leave a reading being like, oh, great. Okay. Like, it should connect. You should already know these things, and it should be confirmation to a degree. And then we will get into information that will help you move forward. Because right now, I don't like this person's energy. Okay. But anyway, they may be seeing your emotions as a burden right now. I wonder if they have burdened you in the past with being overly emotional, overly sensitive, needing like a lot of care, a lot of reassurance, like more than the average person. And now it's like, oh, you have one emotion. Well, I'm going to treat you like you're an absolute burden. It could be something like that. And that they may be seeing this as something that they're having to put more work in than they want to. And I want to point out that this person is not putting work into this relationship. Any work they're putting in is honestly kind of deceptive. And I feel like they are maybe resentful because because either they are wanting to move on or trying to move on, because honestly, this person is giving me like energy of those type of people who just like decide a person in their life doesn't have value anymore and just discards them. That's what it feels like. It feels like this is a pattern for them and that this has nothing to do with you. And honestly, like, you have this most wonderful, beautiful energy. And I think this is part of the reason, like, not only am I feeling some of the emotions that you've been feeling, but I'm feeling sad and upset for you. It's really hard for me to see when someone that is so wonderful and gives so much more than the average person is treated like this. It's like, it just feels like the biggest injustice in the world. And it makes me sad. So again, like, I need to stop talking about it because I'm going to cry. So I don't like this person and their mindset. And I think it is very distorted. I think that they are, I feel bad calling someone damaged. They're unhealthy. They're very, very emotionally unwell. Okay. This is someone who never grew emotional intelligence or emotional maturity. It's possible they have found the language for it. They act like they are. They may say the right things, but deep down, this person is deeply selfish, deeply self-absorbed. And I don't think they love themselves. No one that loves themselves treats another person like this. So we are going to pull some more cards to look at currently the foundation of the relationship, the strengths, the challenges. Honestly, I don't think we need to pull those cards for you because this is not, honestly, maybe we just don't even pull those cards for you because I already know there's not a foundation here. If there are any strengths, it's not worth sticking around for them. The challenges, I think we're already talking about some of them. I'm trying to like decide, like, are you going to be mad if I don't pull those cards? I'll pull them. Let's just pull them. So let's quickly look at, for group one, for the current relationship, what's going on with what's the foundation of this relationship? The Four of Swords. Let's put that in the middle. What are the current strengths? Why can't I say that? The strengths of this relationship. Okay, the Seven of Cups. And what are the current challenges of this relationship? So I just dropped a million cards and that happens. I am clumsy, but it made me think that there are so many challenges. But let's get one card, please. The Five of Wands. Okay. So let's not spend a long time on this because I would like to get into where things are going and get advice for you because I actually think advice is going to be the most important thing here. So looking at the foundation of this relationship, we have the Four of Swords, which is interesting for a foundation. It makes me think of, Four of Swords is often about rest, but we have someone in a bed here and it makes me think that it's a lazy foundation that, because again, if both people don't put work into a foundation, it won't be solid. One person cannot form a foundation. There has to be multiple involved. Like you can form your own foundation for your own life, but you know what I'm saying, in a relationship. And so it feels like it's lazy because at least one person didn't put in the work to form a foundation. And it makes me think, again, this person is like so obsessed with themselves, so obsessed with like their own like thoughts. We have the swords and thoughts, and that they're not putting in the work of like the number 4. Okay. The number 4 can be about stability. It can be about foundation. And so we think like 4 sides, right? So instead of creating a 4-sided foundation, they just like hung 3 of the sides up on the wall and they're staring at another one. So it makes me think of being very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like daydreamy, limerent, having kind of like putting something on a pedestal and having illusions about it. And I think like when you form a foundation, which starts at the beginning of a relationship, right? So at the beginning of this relationship, this person was self-focused. They were lazy, but they also were very daydreamy about you. They put you on a pedestal that you could only fall off of because they weren't seeing you for who you really are. And again, this is a pattern with this person because people like this don't do it one time. You are not the only person that they have done this to unless you are their first relationship or something like that. I think, the blue is making me think about throat. It's making me think about talking and communication. And it makes me think this person talked a big game. They talked a lot. So there may have been love bombing, a lot of compliments, a lot of flattery, a lot of like, you're so amazing. And that maybe too, like it being in a bed, maybe there was a lot of physical stuff that was happening. And so that is the quote unquote foundation that they were forming instead of an actual like healthy relationship where there was more to it than just like physical attraction. So there's a lot there, but overall the foundation of the relationship is weak. It has one side out of 4 and that side is not even real. So again, it doesn't matter what you put into it. This person didn't. So let's look at the current strengths. So we've got the 7 of Cups. Okay. This is like strengths for you, not for the relationship. Okay. This talks about, to me, like the immediate message when it came out is that you have a lot of choices. You have a lot of paths you can go down when it comes to this person, when it comes to this relationship, and when it comes to your life, and when it comes to love. Like you can find gold at the end of the rainbow. You can like sit on your throne and be powerful. With this snake, you can transform and change your life. We have all of these candles surrounding you. You're in this like circle of protection. And it does feel like you have so much spiritual protection. Yeah, I feel like you are safe and you have choices. The strength has always been with you. And okay, oh my God, I have to pull this card back from the beginning. Where is it? I feel like I'm all over the place. So maybe you feel like you're all over the place, or maybe I just am. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So look at these together. This is you. You are surrounded by love and protection. You are in a circle of safety, even when it feels like you're not, because you were hurt by this person or are currently hurt by this person. You have the power of choice. You have the power of love. It makes me want to I feel like I'm going to cry again because you are so filled up with love. I think you have the gift of love. You have a big open heart and heart chakra, and you're so capable of compassion and love and understanding other people's side. And like you have empathy and you can see like there's the black and the white. You can see this side and that side. You can see the good in someone that is treating you badly. Like there's so many wonderful things about you. We have the number of 8 in strength with it, which is the number of abundance. You are abundant with love. You are abundant with choice. You have so many paths you can take, and that outside of this person, outside of this relationship, it's beautiful. Like you have so much, and I don't even think you're always aware of it. And maybe you've been praying for it. It's there for you. Let's look at the challenges here. So we have the 5 of Wands, conflict, competition, being on different pages. This 5 of Wands honestly is not that bad. But what's interesting here, something I want to point out again, the 5 of Wands has 5 figures in it. This one has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's the other person? I am telling you, some of you know this because it's showing up over and over again, or you're heavily, heavily suspecting that there's somebody else. There is somebody else involved. I don't know if this person's cheating on you. I don't know if there is someone, like they have some confidant that they're lying to about you. Somehow they're triangulating, or they have a third party. There's someone else. And so that is the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge is, it's possible it's not another person. It is possible that they're hiding something big from you, or they hid something big from you and you found out about it. That is the biggest challenge. Them hiding things from you and being selfish. I'm not going to go any further into it. What I'm going to do, and also it feels like, you're going to be on your way out. And I mean, that's what I would advise. But What I want to do now is get to, the whole point of the reading. We're going to look at the future, like where this relationship is headed. So we'll see how things are progressing, what you need to know about this person, how you can get the outcome you want. And then I've got we've got oracle cards for advice for you. Okay. So for group 1, can you tell me how things are progressing right now in this relationship? Okay, we have the 10 of Swords. What does group 1 need to know about this other person? What do you want them to know about this person? The 3 of Swords. Do you want to add anything to that? The Fool. Okay, and how can group 1 get a positive outcome here? The Moon. Let's expand on that a little bit. And the Hermit. Okay. Yeah, that clears it up. All right, my darling. I am so sorry that you are dealing with this, because if you're still in this reading, I know it's probably yours, and it is not great. It has not been great for you. Okay, so when we look at how things are progressing, 10 of Swords could not be more clear. Okay. And I feel so sorry. Like, I hate having to relay this information, but I also know that, I don't want to be like, no, everything's fine. I promise. They're not lying to you. Like, I'd rather you know the truth. And of course, whether or not you vibe with this. Anyway, the 10 of Swords, endings, of course, ending. Feeling betrayed over and over again, death by 1,000 cuts, someone who has lied 1,000 times, someone who has lied in the biggest way, someone who has been incredibly hurtful. And you know what I like about this 10 of Swords is this figure, she is breaking these swords. Okay. And who can step on a metal sword and break it? She's powerful. And she's like, I'm not going to lay here dead with 10 swords in my back bleeding out. I am going to break these swords and throw them in the trash and go inside and forget about this shit. So yes, this is ending. I don't know whether or not it's you who ends it, but you will end the pain. You're not going to suffer for the rest of your life because of this person. You're not going to hold on to this pain 10 years from now. It's probably going to hurt for a while. If this happened a while ago, it probably has hurt for a while, but you're not going to let this get you down. I don't know if this is the first time something like this has happened and maybe you dwelled in the past. You're not going to do that anymore. It might hurt. You might dwell, you might ruminate, but it's all in an effort to process, to move on, to heal, to make sure you never deal with something like this again. Because again, you are so filled with love that you love yourself. And I wonder if you have questioned your love for yourself because of this person. And maybe you've thought well, if I really loved myself, would I have put up with all of this? Obviously there's got to be a part of me I don't love. Maybe there's some part of you, but listen, this isn't your fault. If you have put any of the blame on yourself for this, I know you probably weren't perfect. That's fine. But this person has been incredibly hurtful. So I really like that you're taking things into your own hands and you were demolishing the shards of pain that this person put into you. And and we get over here to the 3 of Swords. And again, this kind of feels like this person tried to wound you in so many ways, whether or not it was consciously intentional. Sometimes people are that malicious. Sometimes they genuinely don't realize how awful they're treating someone. I'm not forgiving them either way, but it's they're trying to hurt you, but you're healing from it. This heart is up here. It's not your heart. You're protecting your heart. But this is, these two cards, the 3 of Swords and the Fool, are what we're looking at for what you need to know about this other person. This person does not have your best interests at heart. Okay. Absolutely not. They're literally trying to put daggers into your heart. Okay. They are standing above you, trying to control you. And I feel Yeah. So first of all, the Fool, I want to say with the Fool is you deserve a fresh start. And so what you need to know about this person is you deserve a fresh start away from them and toward things that are positive and safe. But this also feels to me like your higher self and your inner self and the part of you that loves yourself so much. And like you're coming in to save yourself. Again, there's so much energy of your self-love, self-protection, and working through this and working forward and moving into a new cycle. So all you need to know about this person is it doesn't matter if they have any good qualities. It doesn't matter if you love them. I think at this point, you have to move on. You have known you had to move on. Sorry, there's something on this card. I want to scratch it off. But yeah, I mean, they're not a healthy, good person for you. That's what you need to know. You need to know that it's time to choose yourself, to protect your heart, and to know that none of this was any of your fault. And that some people are very unwell. So how can you get the outcome you want, or a positive outcome? So if part of you is wanting this person to apologize, make amends, be authentically sorry, like take accountability, etc. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, that's probably not going to happen. And if it is, it's not going to be anytime soon. So if that's the outcome you're wanting, I'm sorry. We're not going to look at how you get there because it's not under your control. But to get a positive outcome, to protect yourself, we have this Moon and we have this Hermit. So very clearly, this is about taking your own counsel, trusting your gut, your body, your intuition, what it's been telling you. If you've been feeling anxiety and pain and grief and sadness related to this person, obviously you're probably going to want to move in a different direction. And so spending time with yourself getting clear, you might journal or write things down. And honestly, one of my biggest pieces of advice when you are dealing with someone that you suspect is emotionally unwell and is potentially abusive, that kind of stuff, writing things down is going to come in so much handy later, because future you may get confused, may get nostalgic, may miss them, may be sentimental, may think that you made it all up, that it was somehow your fault. So write it down. You can write down the good and the bad, but definitely write down the things that didn't feel right and why, and not just blame yourself. I mean, hold yourself accountable too for your part of it. But that can be incredibly helpful for those moments when you start to question yourself, because more than likely you will, especially if there was abuse, more often than not, you will question yourself because you've been put into a fog. So anyway, in order to have a positive outcome, spending time with yourself, possibly journaling, possibly praying about it, doing any kind of ritual, maybe a cord cutting, just a recommendation. But you might also, like if you connect with water, being near a body of water or being in the bath or even the shower, that can be really helpful. Or even listening to sounds of water. If you don't have access to, like, if you don't have a bathtub, for example, and you don't want to stand in the shower for half an hour and waste water, or like you don't have a body of water near you, you can listen to the sounds of water. That can also be helpful for somebody. Yeah, it's really about trusting your own intuition. So lastly, I want to grab these oracle cards, and this is going to be final advice for you. Okay. So for group 1, we have Spirit, the number 2, Unicorn. I thought this was the same image. I was like, wait, did I turn it around? We have the number 21. It says, you are here. And I'll show you this closer in a minute, actually, if you want to see it. And then we have the number 14, Axe, division and lessening. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's go in order, I guess. Well, do we want to go in order? Yeah, let's go in order. Okay. Okay. So for this first one, the unicorn card that we have here. So, this is about, again, I feel like I want to tell you to take your own counsel. I just feel like you have this really pure light about you. And I want to say innocent, but I feel like sometimes that can come across the wrong way. it's not like you don't know anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're very wise. You may be quite spiritually connected. I do get the sense for a lot of you, you have a very open crown chakra, but also, and look at all this green, very open heart chakra. And it feels like you are quite a compassionate person, and that, you know, you really care about yourself and your union and relationship and connection with other people, and as well as the spiritual realm. Again, I feel a strong sense that many of you are very aware of your spirit guides or your angels. You talk to them, you know, like some of their names, or you call on certain angels all the time. I mean, angels are very healing, so that would be a really good thing to do at this time, is to call on angels and ask for their help with your emotional healing and things like that. But I think you are very light, very bright, and that you are a unique, rare breed. You know what I mean? When we talk about unicorns, it's like someone who is so rare. And so I think that you really do have a rare ability and capacity to love and to be compassionate and to feel empathy toward other people and to try to understand. And this isn't to say you're perfect, because I'm sure some of you are like, no, I wasn't the best. Like, I fought with this person too, and like this and that. But like, no one's perfect 100% of the time. But I do think you have a bigger heart in a way. Your heart energy is open in a way that a lot of people struggle with. And so, yeah, I think that, and I also think that you have a large capacity for self-healing and maybe being very healing in other people's lives. You may have been very healing in this person's life, but you can't heal that level of, I don't want to say damage, but I can't think of another word. But that level of whatever is going on with another person, they have to do that themselves. You know that. But focusing on the good, focusing on yourself and your love for yourself is going to be very important right now, and releasing any pain that has blocked anything for you, blocked any love for yourself. And just remembering there is so much good within you, and there's good in the world. And so I think that you're also meant to let your dreams fade of things being better in this relationship, and instead look for what is solidly better and like provably better. When we look at here, let me show you this up close because it's got a lot of stuff on it. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. Okay, so we have this rock, and it's like got an X of like, you are here. And then there's all these other cute, like cool things you can like go do. Again, it makes me think of that 7 of Cups we had. I don't know if I can grab it easily, so I won't. But you have so much choice. You have so many choices of other people to be close to, other people to be in relationship with and to be connected to. You have all these paths you can go in your life. Like, you have a lot of potential waiting for you to make a choice and decide what you want or what you want to try first. But this is also about groundedness and grounding yourself. We have this big, heavy rock in nature, and it's like, connect to nature, do whatever grounding activities are helpful for you, or do grounding meditations or whatever. And this is also about being very present. Like, you are here. Focus on where you are and the good in where you are, and be present and mindful. And then as you develop more clarity about where you want to go, choose a direction. You can change direction. You can double back. You can come back to this X of you are here and just stay right here. But as you have more clarity, you can move in different directions. And this is also about remembering how blessed you really are. I mean, you are here, blessed, you know. And that there are many, many good things just waiting for you still. There are so many paths forward. Like, you can go in so many directions. It's like unlimited at this point. There's not just even 3 ways you can go. There are 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 ways you can go, and that you're really not stuck. So if you feel stuck, just realize that you will feel unstuck. And so this is also about coming to a place of calm and clarity. And again, like having some alone time and tapping into your intuition and your feelings. And I do feel like there may be people here who are quite clairsentient. And so you feel a lot with your body. And so it would be important to kind of just stop and breathe and remember you're okay and you're safe now, and that there are ways forward. And so, take the time to consider your options. Finally, man, we've been going for a while. I did not mean to go this long. I actually hope the other groups aren't this long, but then someone's going to get mad that their group wasn't as long. But you need it, okay? Because you're going through a hard time. So I want to spend this time with you. But we have this axe. What can I say? This is about cutting something off, ending something, being done with something, choosing to walk away, even if this other person left you and you've been left to pick up the pieces. This is making the choice, like that 10 of swords we saw where you're breaking all the swords. You're making the choice to move on from this, to move on from hope. And even if it takes you a long time to get there because you're processing everything and you're sorting everything out, that's okay. But, the number 14 reduces in numerology to 5, and 5 is about change. And it feels like a change in ending this and moving forward. And this is about division, and understanding that you're not on the same page with this person. You probably won't ever be in this life, maybe, but you've got to cut something off. You've got to end something. You've got to cut a cord, move on, change, trust yourself. And, it says lessening here as well. And I do think there's going to be a lessening of pain if there hasn't already been. So group 1, I am sending you so much love. If this is very present for you right now, I'm so sorry. And I know you're going to get through it, and I hope you're okay. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you again soon. Okay? Bye. Hi, group 2. You chose the Vanadinite and the Anime Food Tarot. Welcome to your reading. So we are looking at a relationship on your mind. We're looking at where it is currently headed. Okay, so we will start with an energy check. We will then look at what's currently going on in this relationship. So if all that is sounding familiar, stick around for the rest of the reading to see where it is going and to get advice. If it is not sounding familiar, it's probably because you're in the wrong group. So try another. And if you have multiple relationships on your mind, if it's not just romantic, you can also watch multiple groups, or you can anyway if you're just curious to see what goes on in another group. Okay, so actually let me give this one more shuffle. This deck is really cute, and the images often don't really have much to do with what the card is, but it doesn't matter. We can read it anyway. So let's start with the energy check I spoke of. What we'll do is we'll get the energy, the dynamic between you right now, and then we're going to get your role, feelings, and expectations, and then their role and feelings and expectations. Okay, so help me understand what the energy or the dynamic between group 2 and their person is right now. Okay, we have the 2 of Cups. Okay, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, group 2. So let's look at you. Let's find out more about your role right now in this relationship. It is the Star. What are your feelings right now? We have the High Priestess. What are your expectations right now? The 7 of Pentacles. Okay. These cards are a little bigger than the last deck. Let me make sure these are fitting on screen. Okay, that's good enough. I'm fine with it. Okay, let's look at your person that you're thinking about. What's their role right now in the relationship? We have the Knight of Cups. What are their feelings? The Nine of Cups. And what are their expectations? The King of Wands. Okay, so I guess we can shift these a bit. Okay, well, this looks pretty cute. And, you know, this is such a cute deck that I was kind of hoping it would be, but you never know. Okay, so as far as the energy or the dynamic between you right now, we have this Two of Cups, we have this Ten of Pentacles, very positive cards, especially for a relationship between two people, romantic or otherwise, but definitely for romantic. It feels very sweet, and like literally we have sweets right here with the Swiss roll cake, and it feels sweet in different ways. And it also feels very abundant and like there's a lot of potential and possibility, and that there's a lot of safety here as well. But it is possible that this is very new. And I would assume it's on the newer side because we're looking at relationships today where there are some questions or there are some things that are undecided or unknown. So it's either very new or maybe you're wondering if you guys are going to take it to some other level or something like that. Or it could be someone that you knew for a while and now you're dating, or there's attraction between you or something like that. But there's a lot of crush energy or like new love, but then there's also some stabilizing energy. So I wonder if there's already been like some getting together, I guess. Like it's not just probably that you have a crush, but it certainly could be. But I think it's definitely like, it seems like both people are very interested. So you would know that as well. Yeah. And like, again, it makes me think new because, okay, Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles can be very grounding. And we have this sushi spread. And so it's like raw fish. So it's like, and yeah, it's like technically done. You can eat it, but it makes me think like it's raw. It's not done yet. It's not cooked yet. And so it's like still fresh. I mean, it's fresh, but it's still fresh and sort of new and hasn't reached a certain stage yet. And yeah, it feels like there's so much variety. So it also seems like there's nothing stale here. Like it feels very fresh. And so if you've known each other longer, it still feels very fresh, or one or both of you kind of makes things quite fresh. You know, you can be whatever gender, your person can be whatever gender, but it does look like there's a likelihood for a lot of you that your person is a man or masculine in some way. I wonder if someone's prone to giving the other person little gifts, or you exchange little gifts, or like you bring each other little treats. It definitely seems like you're emotionally on the same page. And so right now, there's a lot of similar energy between you, a mutual understanding, things in common. You feel similarly about this relationship and the potential in this relationship. It feels like, you know, we have these little rolls that are filled with things, but nothing's hidden. Like you can see it. And so it's like things aren't hidden. Like you may not know certain things right now or know certain things yet, but like it seems like you're both being pretty open, and yet you have a good amount of depth. Like each of you has some depth. Your communication could be really sweet. And on the lighter side, I mean, maybe it gets like you get into topics about family or having a family one day, or, you know, meeting one another's families. Like there could be some stuff like that with this Ten of Pentacles. And yet there's a lot of like sweet, like either you're very kind of like you have affectionate pet names, or a lot of your conversation is like cute banter and stuff like that. And while you get into quote unquote heavier topics, it doesn't feel very heavy. I would say for the most part, it feels on the lighter side. And if you think about this with being food as well, this isn't heavy food. I mean, yeah, you could eat a lot and be really full, but it's kind of on the lighter side. Even these desserts are like fluffy little cakes. So let's get into, Actually, here's what I did in the last group because it was easier. So let's look at both of your current role or part of your role in this relationship. So for you, we have the Star. For your person, we have the Knight of Cups. So I wonder if your person is more of the pursuer. They may see you as like almost like a celebrity, or like you're very beautiful, very handsome, very attractive, whatever it is. They see you like sparkle and shine above the rest. And yeah, they seem very smitten with you. And the Knight of Cups, yeah, it seems very like this is if anyone's asking anyone out, I would guess it's your person, or anyone who makes any moves, or who kind of takes more of a role of like doing more romantic things, kind of pushing the relationship to more romantic places, and not in a pushy way, but like maybe, it's like, you're like, yeah, I can hang out. And they're like, no, we're not hanging out. It's a date. It's like that kind of thing where it's like, let me be clear here. We are going on a date. And you're like, oh, okay, sure. But I definitely think there's crushy energy back and forth. I mean, the Knight of Cups, it literally says hot customer you have a crush on. So that could be confirmation for somebody where you or them was a customer at the other person's job, or is, and that there's a crush happening between both of you. But it definitely seems two-sided, I would say. This is not a non-reciprocal crush, okay? And of course, we have food and restaurant cards here, but one of you could work at a restaurant or at a cafe or a coffee shop or something like that as well. That does not have to be the case, of course. But yeah, it's like if you are a customer at their work or something like that, there may be like a lot of attractive people that go in, but like you stand out above the rest. You are the star. You are the one that they notice. So again, it is making me think very like fresh and new, and or this was maybe how it started. But I think that even if you're more established, you're still very attracted to one another, and this person still thinks that you are at the absolute best. And I mean, that feeling could go both ways, but yeah, it's you might be both romantic, but this other person is, I think, quite romantic toward you. And they may be very expressive of this as well. They may be writing you poems, writing you songs, sending you a lot of music. The first one to give you an affectionate pet name. They may be more affectionate. And I do think there's a lot of, again, matching energy, but they're definitely more the pursuer and the romantic, even if you are also romantic yourself. I wonder if you worry a little bit, like this person could have so many choices. Like, why did they pick me? If that is the case, again, it's like they see you as something special. And it does seem like whatever's happening now, there are mutual feelings. But I do wonder if you worry a little bit that this person like could choose other people, or maybe they're this romantic with everyone. Like maybe I'm not special. I don't know. That could be the case for a couple people here. But yeah, like right now you seem to be like the light in their life. That's really what it looks like. So when we look at current feelings happening, some of the current feelings, for your person, we have this 9 of Cups, and for you, we have this High Priestess. So, okay, well, let's see here. Yeah, so again, I kind of wonder if you worry a little bit that this person is like just in it for like physical stuff or something, because there's kind of this like hot physical energy and very kind of like bold. And then yours is kind of like cute and sweet and organized and has all these hearts and flowers. So I wonder if like you're feeling, and it's called the Heart Bento. This is cute. Interesting for the High Priestess though. But I wonder if you are feeling like a lot of romantic feelings, and that you maybe are worrying a little bit that this person doesn't feel those. I do think so. The biggest difference I'm noticing right now are in the difference in your feelings, but they both are positive. This person may be more physically oriented, even if they are very romantic. You might be more like in it for the long haul. And so you're feeling a little bit cautious, but you're also being really sweet and loving. This person may be like kind of more confident and bold, and you're a little bit more subtle, I would say, probably. It is possible this person is has like a fiery personality, or is a fire sign, or even has red hair, but also we could have blonde hair or brown hair, or like really dark brown hair or black hair. So, I mean, that's not to say, but like someone's got a redhead in this group. Yeah, I wonder if like you're kind of feeling like wondering if you can start planning for the future, you know, and having these ideas of like what it could be like to date, or what it would be like if you got married, or like what it would be like if you created something together. And, you know, I think that with it being the high priestess and kind of talking about the unknown and hidden knowledge, you're just not really sure for some reason if this person is exactly on this page. Because even if they're being like romantic and stuff like that, even if you're in an established relationship, I wonder if you still are like sometimes unsure if they see the same future you do, and if they're putting you on a pedestal in some way. And like, I think you really want something special with this person, but there's still like some uncertainty because you don't know, you feel like you don't know something, or you may be hiding a little bit how romantic you are feeling and how much of the future you could see with this person. You might be the one hiding it a little bit out of a little bit of fear of it not being fully reciprocated or something. Or like maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe they just want a physical relationship. Like I should hold back like presenting this beautiful heart bento because maybe they're going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I think that's kind of what's going on for you right now. With this person in the 9 of Cups, I definitely think like this person is super attracted to you. I mean, that's coming through very clearly, but also I think that they want to make a really good impression on you. And so they are trying to be very bold and very confident and maybe showy in some way, or even like a little braggy or something, like they're bragging a little bit. I think they're trying to show off to you and like be very energetic and very wow, because they think you'll like it. And I think that they are also trying to like show all that they've got and like reveal themselves to you so that you can see like, oh, they're so amazing. But I think they are coming on a little strong in some ways, but then yeah, so I wonder if you think they're love bombing you. And I think this is honestly how they are. I mean, like sometimes we can worry with the Knight of Cups because it's like, here we go with the love bombing. But a lot of times the Knight of Cups is just like a romantic, you know? So I think this person is just always trying to have you like them. They may be more impulsive than you. They may be more like action oriented, more outgoing or extroverted possibly. But they want you to find them attractive for sure. And with it being the 9 of Cups, I think that they're emotionally pretty well. Like this isn't someone who's like hiding their emotions or like hiding behind things. I think that they actually are showing you a lot of themselves, even if they're trying to look really good right now. And I think that they're pretty emotionally fulfilled in a lot of aspects in their life. And they may be really ready to share that with you. And so, or share it with someone. And so they're also trying to be very generous, I think. And yes, I can understand why you're like maybe wondering, because there are, even though you seem to be on the same page and you're both feeling a lot of the same things, you're also not. Like, because I think you're quite different in certain ways, maybe with the ways you express yourself or the way you communicate or the ways you think about things or something. But I mean, it's pretty positive energy so far. I mean, we're going to, of course, get further into it. So I'll let you know if I see anything that's not. But it feels good right now. So when we look at your expectations right now for this connection, we have the 7 of Pentacles. When we look at this person's expectations, we have the King of Wands. Okay. Well, with this Seven of Pentacles, I think you want to grow something with this person. So your expectation is that we're going to build something here. Let's go slow. Let's see where it goes. Let's see if we both like it. Let's not rush anything. Let's take our time. But also there is so much food on this platter. It feels like this really could have a lot to offer both of you, and that it could be very fulfilling and a lot of fun, and that there's no need to rush anything. It's like, oh, there's all this food. We don't need to eat it in 2 seconds. Let's enjoy it, you know? So I think your expectations are to move forward, to grow this, to maybe move slowly and to enjoy it. And that it does feel like maybe you are growing something together and moving towards something, and you're maybe trying to not get too ahead of yourself. And when it comes to this person with the King of Wands, again, coming through is more fiery, direct, maybe quite honest, maybe a bit unusual. I'm like thinking about, look, it's like, again, okay, we have this heart bento that was on your side, and then we've got this person on the other side eating the bento box. So I feel like this person has an expectation that you are going to open up more, you are going to offer more, that you want to go somewhere with this, and they want it too, and they're very open to your way of doing it, or even compromising, and that they may not realize like how lovey-dovey you're sometimes feeling, but they do think that you are offering something and that you want to move this toward them. It also feels with all these other hands, like offering things, that this person may have other offers, like maybe because they do come across as kind of confident and extroverted, that they tend to have more people approaching them for like dating and things like that. And so it may be like other people are like, oh, hey to your person, but they're like, no, I'm focused on this bento box that group 2 gave me because I'm very excited about it. It's exactly what I want. Like, it's again, they see you as special. You stand out above the rest. And so their expectation is also to move toward this and grow something, and they're ignoring whatever else is going on. This may even be other parts of their life where it's like, oh, you're in their life now? Well, now you're becoming a priority. Yes, other things matter, like work or school or other relationships or whatever. But those things don't need to be necessarily the priority anymore, because now you're becoming a priority. So again, really positive. I really like it. So let's take a look at your current, what's going on currently in the connection between you. We'll look at how the foundation is looking. And wow, it took me forever to pick those up. And we will look at the current strengths and challenges. Once we covered that, we're going to look at the future, like where this is headed. Okay. So if this is your group, stick around. So for group 2, with this connection, what is the foundation looking like? How is that going? Okay. We have the Fool. So again, I'm really thinking this is a newer thing. Let's look at strengths. Oh, the 10 of Cups. Okay, let's look at challenges. Okay, the 2 of Swords. All right, so let's start with this foundation in the middle. So we have the Fool for that. So it's a major arcana card. I feel like that's a pretty good sign for a foundation. It's 0, the Fool, the start of everything, the start of the journey. It is, it's like things are beginning. And so this is, it's not like, oh, there's no foundation. There might not really be yet, but this is a good sign that you're moving toward a new thing, a new journey, a new cycle, a start of something real. Okay. So this indicates, a positive start. And again, you know, there could be people in this group that are already established, and this could be talking more about like what it was like in the beginning, but we'll still see where it's headed. But also I want to point out on this rice ball here in the front, we have stars. So this is like pointing to you again. And then we have all these little hearts, like little heart petals, it looks like. So it's like this. And then this one's all like fiery and rich. So it feels like you are both in this foundation on the same page, open about things, all this lovey, happy energy. And it feels like this is a combination of the two. So you are creating something right now that could really be a positive, solid, wonderful foundation for the future. So this feels incredibly positive to me. So I'm not like at all worried that it's like the beginning. It doesn't matter. So when we look at strengths right now in this relationship, we have the 10 of Cups. Love to see that in a strengths position. So ultimate happiness, everything going your way, having a sense of community and family and being emotionally fulfilled. Everyone is happy together. The birds are singing. The sun is shining and everyone is laughing and smiling and happy. So that's great. We've got, this is Pizza Mom. I guess this is like a dumpling that's like pizza filled, which sounds pretty delicious to me. But it's making me think like pizza party. So it's like, the fun day at school or at the office at work. It's like, oh, it's pizza party day. Like, I'm not saying like you don't have to like pizza, but it's the joy of it. There's like so much fulfillment and joy in everyone coming together over like a shared happy purpose. So the strength is that there's a lot of happiness and potential for a long-term happiness, not just long-term stability, long-term joy, connection, and bonding over things and it feeling like a pizza party every day. And I'm not saying every day, okay? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you you're going to have bliss every single day for the rest of your life. It's possible, okay? I'm just saying it might not be, there might be bad days, okay? Like, let's just be realistic here. So then let's look at challenges. And here we have the 2 of Swords. And we have this kind of like almost stormy sky in the background, but then we have this like cozy, yummy, I don't know what Tanjiro, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that. But it looks good and it looks comforting. So and you know what? When I was saying like the sun is shining and the birds are singing, I also had an image of like it's raining, but we're inside and we're comfy cozy. So then I look at this card and I'm like, oh my God, of course. So it's like, even on a rainy day or like an emotionally harder day, there's still like a comfort in one another and there's still like a cozy coming together. But because it is coming through as challenges, yeah, there could be hard days. There could be stormier days. There could be, storms you weathered together, metaphorical storms, of course, like, someone losing a job or like, someone having a health issue they have to deal with, of course, like harder things. And then the other person is like, don't worry, I'm going to make you a delicious bowl of warm food that you like. Or I am basically your warm cup of tea that you come home to. But it's like, I think that this is really talking about like the challenge of just like life, that there will at times be challenges, but you'll weather them together. I think like, sometimes a reading is so positive that I'm like, is this too positive? But I'm not there's negative ones too. So I'm telling you like I see it. Okay. So my dear group 2, let's look at the future. So where's this relationship headed? And I'm so glad because like I am in a good mood and the last group was hard and I'm not mad about it, but I'm really glad that there's also like a group of you where you're like happy right now because it goes really well with my mood. So I'm glad. So anyway, where is this headed? So we're going to look at how are things progressing, kind of where are they going, what you need to know about this other person, how you can get an outcome that you want. And then we've got oracle cards for advice. So let's find out. And sorry if I am like a little sillier today. For some reason, people sometimes really hate when I am, but I'm hoping you'll appreciate it because you're also in a good mood. So let's see what I've got for you. So how are things progressing for group 2 and their person? the Magician. Let's get another. Oh, the Ace of Cups. Excellent. Okay. What do you need to know about this other person? The World. What else? Also, I want to point out, it is taking forever to get cards for some of your questions. And sometimes when it takes a long time, I just cut out some of the shuffling so that people don't get bored. But it makes me think that there are things your guides don't want you to know yet because it would like ruin the fun or like ruin the surprise. So I just want to say that. Okay, so tell me what else. What do you want group 2 to know about this person? The King of Swords. Okay. How can group 2 get the outcome that they want? The Page of Cups. Should we draw one more? The Nine of Pentacles. Okay, let me make sure you can see these. Sometimes I just feel like these cards are a little bigger. Okay, yeah, this is fine. All right. Okay, so when we look at, on the left, how things are progressing and moving forward in this relationship, we have the Magician, we have the Ace of Cups. Great. Also, look, we have 2 happy little pandas. Pandas are my favorite animal. They're so cute and sweet. And look, there's 2 of them happy together in the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is a really good sign. So if this is a crush, like a mutual crush, and you haven't started a relationship yet, this is the start of a relationship. If you're already together, this is the start of a new like relationship development, a new happy relationship development. Like it's happy emotions. It's the start of something fresh and new. So like it's either you getting together if you're already together and it's like, well, maybe we get engaged, maybe we move in together, maybe we meet families, that kind of thing. It's like a big step and it's happy. So we like to see that. Also, bamboo is such a hardy plant. And so it bodes well for this being like long-term and very hardy. I can't think of another word for that. So hopefully you get my drift. Also, the Magician. That can also be about a new start, about something starting up, about, it's like, what's that like Spice Girl song? Like when 2 becomes 1. I'm not going to sing it. I am tone deaf, but it feels like, like when 2 becomes 1. So it is like a coming together in a new way. I'm also thinking with this breakfast in the Magician card that it's like, okay, maybe you're like staying at each other's houses now and you're having breakfast together and that kind of thing, like doing things together that are more intimate in a way that you wouldn't just do with anybody. It's not like that you wouldn't make breakfast for a friend or something, but it's got that feeling to it. And it's like there are 2 eggs, and 2 tomato slices. Again, it's like when 2 become 1. And like you're still your own individuals. You're still like the Magician is still like independent, but it's like independence together, sharing experiences together. And it's also making me think like when 1 becomes 2, so it's like if you're alone, now you're part of a couple. So it's positive feelings abound in this reading. So let's look at these middle cards for what you may need to know about the other person. So we have the World and we have the King of Swords. Okay, so the first thing that that's coming through a little bit here is, if you have been worrying that this person's like not actually serious or like you're, getting in your head about the future and this person doesn't really, maybe you're picking up the wrong signals and that you're going to be disappointed or whatever. It feels like actually like this person wants to give you the world. They want to create something special. It's like I feel like this King of Swords is this chef putting in like a little bit of magic, wanting to create something really special and like detailed and wonderful, and not just, like they were coming through with that fried chicken in the beginning, which is like bold and like I'm fried chicken. And it's like what they really want is like subtle complexity, and they want like, this is all food, but it's like richly developed flavors where it's like they don't just want fried chicken. They want a layered meal with you where there are different aspects to your relationship. Deeper things about one another, where you feel like things are special, and that they put in the time and they put in the work and they put in the joy and the happiness and the magic. It makes me think about, what's that movie? Is it called like Water for Chocolate? Where it's like your emotions, the emotions get put into the food. And so it's like this person wants to put happiness into the food. And so where I'm getting with that, because we're doing food metaphors, is that this person wants to put their good energy into the relationship, into all aspects of it. And that doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect and do it all the time, but that's, I think, really their intention. And so, they're not expecting like you to do all the work either. And so I think what you need to know about this person is they really are going to put in the care and the work. And of course, it's always possible. Like this is a collective reading. Okay. So it is possible that, this isn't for 100% of people here. If you are moving toward this person and then you see like very clear signs that they are love bombing rather than being sincere, or they are like entertaining a bunch of people instead of just you, and they're not being honest about that kind of thing, don't just think, well, I saw that reading and like everything was good. Trust your intuition. Okay. But the bulk of the people here, as long as you continue to get good signs, this is a really good sign that this could be something really wonderful and something very long lasting. And this person is going to put in the world into this, but like also put in the effort, but make you feel very special, because again, I think that they see your specialness, and you could say everybody is special, but like you are special to them. Yeah, it's nice. So let's look at how you can get to the outcome you want here. We have the Page of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So, this is cute. So with this Page of Cups, it's like, it's possible, like I said, you could be hiding some of your romantic feelings or the ways that you want to express yourself. And that I think it's actually going to be really beneficial if you start to show some of that or show more of it. Like, it's not that you have to like suddenly, like if you were like being standoffish, blast them with like romance, but, just kind of like being yourself and being open to the romantic side of it, and kind of like really letting this person know like you're up for it, you're up for beginning this, or up for moving forward, and being like open with your emotions as well. And like being, the Page of Cups can be quite creative as well. So being a little bit creative with the way that you express yourself, and just kind of letting the other person know that you're interested. And, if the other person is not letting you know, if they've been standoffish, this is probably not your reading, because that person seems to be very forward. So if they've been very forward and you're feeling the same way, but you have been afraid to express it, it may be time to express it, because that's going to get you faster to where you want to go. And honestly, I think this is less about advice and more about this is where you could go if you do that. The Nine of Pentacles, where it's luxury, and like we have this Wagyu steak dinner. It's like this expensive, delicious, wonderful meal. And so I think that this is like really what awaits you here. Like this feeling of luxury. Like, it could be that you guys are having expensive meals and like literally in luxurious surroundings, but it could also be that like this relationship feels like a luxury. It feels like something special. Like not everybody gets to have something this nice, and it's like good quality because you're both putting in the effort and you're both excited and you both care about it. So, I really like that. And so I think let's just go ahead and get to, because I've been talking a lot, let's get to your advice. And then we'll close it out, I guess. I feel like I've been very informal today. Maybe I always am. But okay, so for you, we have air, the number 3, raven. We have the number 15. It's hard to read. Lore Keeper's Bookshop. We've got an owl in it. And then we have the mockingbird, prophecies and communication. So first of all, hello, we have 3 birds. Okay, these aren't bird decks. We just happen to get a bird out of each of these decks for you. So this could be a sign for you. If you've been having signs around birds, specific birds, or you've been looking for a sign, it might be birds. So there could be something there with you. Someone could have a name that is like a type of a bird. Like one of you could be named Raven, for example, or something like that. One of you could have a bird tattoo, or you both have the same favorite bird. Like there could be something about birds that's like a sign, that's a confirmation for you. It's also making me think lovebirds, you know? And so again, thinking very romantic, but birds are also about communication and messages and divine messages and like spirit, God, angels, whatever. The divine is trying to send you messages and has been sending you messages and signs and synchronicities. And my guess is that they've been encouraging you to move toward this person because this may be like a fated positive relationship for you or something like that. Or they're like, oh, this one's like going to be really good for you. Something like that. But I also want to point out we have a 3 here and we have a 3 here as well. So, and then we have 3 cards, 3 birds. So 3 could be important. Yeah. And then, okay. So listen, if we do the numerology, we've got a 3 here. If we take 15 down, it's a 6. If we take 39 down, it's a 3. So it's a 3, a 6, and a 3. 6 can be about harmony and balance, and it's in the middle here. And it's like, again, I feel like you guys are in a similar energy. You're feeling very similar about each other. This could be a very important, positive relationship, and there's harmony and balance between you. And I think the owl, can talk about wisdom, but let's start over here with Raven. And so, this can be about messages, spiritual communication. It can be paying attention to the signs, the synchronicities, and the messages you're getting. If like you keep hearing the same song when you're in a store, when you're in someone's car, like when you open Spotify, something like that, what are the lyrics? Is there a message in there for you? It can be things like that. Or like you turn on the TV and someone says something and it feels like a message for you. You're being sent messages. I don't know if you're getting them, but I think it's time to be receptive to them. Or if you're like, I keep thinking I'm getting this message, you are. This is a confirmation that like whatever message you think you've been getting, you have been getting. But this also is kind of making me think like if this is like more of a crush and you haven't like gotten together yet or even gone on like a date or anything yet, it can be that you're going to get a message soon. You're going to get communication soon. But also this can be about trusting your own intuition, trusting how your body feels. And also, I want to say, and I gave this advice to the last group, but it was in a different way. Your group is extremely different. But like journaling or writing things down. So I think that if you already journal, and yeah, we see some journaling here. If you already journal, you might journal about this, like how you're feeling, the signs you've picked up on, like whether or not you think this is a good person, that kind of thing. Because sometimes it makes it really clear how you truly feel about something, like for better or for worse. Like writing it down gets your true thoughts out. So that might be helpful for some people. I mean, don't do it if you don't feel like doing it. That's fine. But again, we see stars and stars. So maybe it's just pointing to the fact that like you're being seen as a star, but like maybe stars are also meaningful. I didn't plan on telling you a bunch of signs, but like there are signs and symbols for you guys. And I don't know which one it is for you, but let's look at the Lore Keeper's Bookshop. And I keep wanting to say the Love Keeper's Bookshop. So love, again, there's something happening here, but this card is, it's about books and it's about reading and journaling and these kinds of things. But for you specifically, this card in this oracle deck can be about, what's it called? Getting lost in fantasy, getting lost in imagination, and like that can actually be a positive. And I think that's coming through with you, because a lot of times when people get lost in fantasy, it's not usually for the best, because they like fantasize that someone is better than they are. But I think in this case, getting lost in it's going to be good for you, because I think there's something really special between you, something really possibly very romantic, and getting lost in your fantasy about it here and there could actually be good. Not so much that you're ignoring anything about the other person again, but it could be talking about that. But also, yeah, this is about trusting your own inner wisdom and your own guidance again. And like ensuring that you know how you feel about things. Yeah, there's a lot of, what is it about the books for you? Someone may give you a book, or you're like at a store and a book falls off of a shelf or something. That could be another sign. Like genuinely, I don't know who in the spiritual realm is trying to get a hold of you so bad, but there are going to be things like books falling from bookshelves, someone handing you a book and say, just read this. Something like that could be happening. Finally, let's talk about the mockingbird here. So this is also about communication. Literally says it right here. Prophecies, very similar to this first card, where it is about spiritual communication. This is just being reiterated so much. And someone is trying to tell you something. Oh, you know what I missed? Also with the number 3 can be about communication. Okay. There's an unbelievable amount here about spiritual communication, also possibly communication between the two of you. Someone is trying to tell you something. Okay. I do think for some of you, you might even like talk to a psychic or talk to a medium or something like that, or go to like a seance or like a mediumship circle or something like that. But you're being sent signs. So if you're not already open to receiving the messages, try to open up, because messages are coming in. And I need to wrap it up because this is really long. So I love you so much, group 2, and I'm really excited for you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this reading was helpful or you enjoyed it, please like the video or leave a comment if you're up for it. So I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, group 3. You chose the fluorite and the tarot of the Woodland Wardens. Welcome to your reading. So we are looking at a relationship on your mind today, and we're looking at where it's currently headed. So we are going to start with an energy check. And hopefully by then you will know whether or not this is your group. If it does not feel familiar to you, please do try another group. If you don't find yourself in any of the groups, I'm very sorry. But after we do the energy check, we'll look at what's currently going on in the relationship, and then we'll look at the future, like where it's headed. So let me give this another shuffle. Okay, so for group 3 and for the energy check, we're going to look at the energy, the dynamic between you. Then we're going to look at your role, feelings, and expectations right now. We're going to look at theirs, and then we will go from there. So for group 3, what's going on between them right now? What's the current energy or the dynamic? We have the 9 of Swords. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. Let's talk about group 3's role in this relationship right now. Okay, we have the Moon and your feelings. The 5 of Wands. Let's talk about your expectations at the moment. Okay, that was too many. Let me try to get just one. Temperance. Okay, let's get your person that you're thinking of. What's their current role? Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. What are their feelings right now? The Eight of Pentacles. Expectations. The Seven of Swords. Okay, let's make these a little prettier here. Make sure you can see them, and then we'll get into it, okay? Okay, these cards are a little bit big, but I think you can mostly see them. Okay, so when we look at the energy between you, we have this Nine of Swords as well as the Four of Pentacles. And so I want to start off by saying that if this sort of sounds like your situation, but your situation is maybe worse, listen to group one, because group one was had some turmoil, but I don't know. Let's get into this. But so with this Nine of Swords, there's certainly some anxiety going on between you. There are sleepless nights going on. So your sleep is being affected. Probably both of you is having affected sleep. Maybe you're fighting late into the night or having conflicts that last until early morning hours and your sleep is suffering, or you're both overthinking at night because you're stressed out about something in this relationship. There's definitely anxiety, definitely either insomnia or affected sleep because you are stressed out, or again, because you are like fighting at night or something like that, or someone is causing a fight. But then we also have this Four of Pentacles, which can be about stability and having what you need. But it can also be hanging on a little too tight, maybe trying to get a sense of stability back, or maybe there was an illusion of security and stability, and now it's like trying to get that back, but it wasn't ever real. That's possible. Or maybe things did feel very stable and secure, and lately they haven't for whatever reason. I can't tell what the reason is right off the bat, but it does seem like there is possibly some conflict, and that something is now out of balance that either was in balance or felt in balance. And it also could be, and I'm not saying that this is for everybody, but it could be that it's like you're hanging on to something really, really tight, trying to make it what you want it to be, or you're both trying to kind of control it in a way. Not that you're necessarily trying to control one another, but that you're trying to control the situation and make it a certain way. And that is also potentially causing quite a bit of anxiety. And it's feeling like, these arrows, which is what the swords are in this deck, it's like they've punctured this tree, and it almost feels like they were trying to hit a target and none of them hit the target quite right. So it's like nothing's quite hitting the target quite right. It's like, here's the target right here in this Four of Pentacles, and it's like, oh, nope, you hit right here and here, and here and here and here. It's like something's not going the way it should be or you want it to be. And this is the dynamic between you. So yes, it could be how you're feeling, but it might be how both of you are feeling. It might be that you're both hanging on too tight. Also, like this moth trying to go to sleep on this like really thin tree branch looks uncomfortable. It's like, no wonder they can't sleep. It's like, there's something here that's very uncomfortable, and yet you're trying to make it pretty. You're trying to make it comfortable, like with this beautiful quilt, but it doesn't change the fact that you're probably going to fall off, or you're going to be tossing and turning all night because it's not comfortable. So something between you has become quite uncomfortable and sort of hard to manage. And yet you're really trying to manage it and trying to figure it out. And again, there's no specific reason that I think there's conflict going on. I mean, yes, we can get over here and look at the Five of Wands. That's conflict, sure. But it really feels like there's conflict because there's this lack of stability or balance that either used to be there or you thought was there. And with the 9, it is making me think too, numerology 9 can be, reaching an end. And so I wonder if you're it kind of feeling like this relationship is reaching an end and you're trying to decide whether or not to continue, whether or not it's worth it, whether or not whatever you're fighting about is something that can be figured out between the two of you and where you can find balance, where both of you is heard, both of you feels like everything is going to be okay. I can't necessarily see right away from this energy if there is someone in the wrong or if you're just disagreeing and you're struggling to find your way back to a center that makes any sense. Yeah, and I do kind of feel like it's possible that this person has expected you to be something that you're not, or is like mad at you for not being something, or maybe it's the other way around. That could be happening for some people. But it does feel lonely. Like, it kind of feels like you're on your own in some way here. Like you're trying to figure this out together and yet you feel like you're alone or on your own. Like it's like you're fighting harder than this other person is, or maybe they're fighting harder than you are. It's stressful and it feels like it's something you can't quite figure out and you keep trying to figure it out and you keep trying to figure out where this went. Like, where did this Four of Pentacles go that was there? And again, I do think for some of you, it was always kind of an illusion. Like it was never actually stable and secure. And maybe you're just starting to realize that, or it was, but that's gone somewhere. And it's like, where is it? Because I would much rather be Four of Pentacles than I would the Nine of Swords. Of course. So let's get into how each of you, your role right now, how that's showing up in the relationship. So for you, we have the Moon. For this person, we have the Eight of Swords. Okay. So with you being a major arcana, maybe your role feels more important right now, or you feel like more is kind of landing on your plate to deal with. And another reason, actually, I think that is because it is very possible that this person you're dealing with here is lost in a victim mentality. That's not necessarily the case, but this is coming through where it's like, you know, with the Eight of Swords, we see someone being stuck, but a lot of times it's like very possible for them to leave the situation, even if it feels hard. But it kind of feels like this person is like, no, I need to hang on to being a victim. I need to hang on to feeling wronged and feeling like I'm the one that's stuck and I'm the one that's dealing with issues. Again, that might not be the case. With the Moon here, I do think, again, this is reflecting this anxiety that you've been feeling, some fear of the unknown and where this is going, where you want it to go, where the other person wants it to go. It does feel like conflict. And so, you know, we have these two, are they, I want to say wolves, but are they foxes? I'm bad at identifying animals, but either way, it doesn't matter what they are, because it feels like there's some anger here. So I don't know if you can see this. It looks like this one's mad at this one, and that this one's maybe trying to compromise, but this one's like, no, you're wrong. And because this one's on the left, which is where we put their cards, and this one's on the right, which is where we put yours, I think they are the ones more causing conflict, being mad, being more of a victim possibly, and that you're either trying to really reassure them and be like, no, like I care, and trying to like get to a place of like balance and understanding, and so that you can travel the unknown together and see things more clearly. But it almost feels like they're keeping you in the Moon. So this being your role, it makes me think that this person forced you into a role. And forced is maybe a strong word. It's like, how do I want to say it? I think you kind of understand what I'm saying. Like they coerced you into this role of like having to possibly tend to their anxieties, tend to their emotions. The Moon can definitely be about emotions. And I might be talking really fast, and I apologize because sometimes I talk really fast. You can slow it down if you need to. But I think that what it feels like to me is this person is angry with you for not regulating their emotions. So it's making me feel like you could be dealing with someone with an emotional regulation disorder, or they have trouble regulating their emotions and they expect other people to, or they sort of manipulate people into it. So an example of this, and this may or may not be the case for you, but an example of this would be you're excited to do something together one day. And when it's time to do that thing, they are like poking at you and being extra rude to you for no reason. And when you, and it's like they're trying to get a reaction out of you. But when you do react and you're like, why are you being like this? Like, I was excited to do this. They're like, what? No, I was excited to do it. I was excited to do it the whole time. And you're the one being weird. Why are you being weird? Is something weird now? So it could be something like that where they're upset. They want to make you upset, whether they're conscious of it or not. And when you get upset, it helps them regulate their emotions. That's what I mean about being manipulative around it. So it could be something like that. And it's like, I feel like you're maybe trying to stand on your own and do your own thing and like have some distance and not be in charge of this person's emotional world or in charge of like constantly reassuring or validating them or something. And they're mad at you because of that, because you not basically taking care of them in this way is making them angry or pissing them off. So that might be an extreme example. Some of you may be dealing with something less extreme, but it does seem like this person is mad at you and it kind of feels unfair so far. I mean, let's see what else is there. But it seems like you've been put in this role of emotional caretaker. Okay. And it feels quite exhausting for you. And it feels quite unfair. And I also feel like it's like this moon, it's not full, but it's got that full moon feeling of like emotions being really high and things being kind of like hard to sort out and hard to figure out. And again, can affect your sleep. And it's like, sorry, I'm like, how do I explain all this that's coming into my mind right now? And I'm trying not to talk extremely fast, but I can't help it. So, I also think that this person seems to think that balance between two people is someone taking care of them. I know that sounds crazy. I don't think it's conscious for them, but for some reason, they seem to believe that an equal relationship is them being like the baby being taken care of. They don't seem to consciously know that about themselves, but you seem to understand that an equal relationship is more like an equal relationship, and they're mad at you because they see you as like being distant, or they see you as being like not giving enough to them or something, when in reality, you're probably overgiving at this point. It's like this one is wearing a shirt and this one is not. And it almost seems like this one on the left is mad. It's like, I want the shirt off your back. Why aren't you giving me the shirt off your back? Do you not love me? And you're like, it's not my fault. You forgot to wear a shirt today. I'm not going to be naked because you forgot to wear a shirt. It's like that kind of thing. It's like unreasonable. And yet in their minds, they're like, how dare you? And I'm sorry to laugh, but it's childish. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this person has it's possible you could find, I mean, let's keep going, but I don't know. Some of you might find information in group 1 that is helpful for you as well, because there's a selfishness here as well. And a feeling of like, they need to be the baby. They need to be the victim. And they would probably not see it that way. They probably don't see that they're like parentifying you or expecting you to be their mother, regardless of whatever gender you are. But there's something about that. And like, there's a poor me kind of thing coming through with them where it's like, oh, poor me. Like everyone always hurts me. And like, I'm stuck again with someone who doesn't love me. It's this thing of feeling like, oh, I guess I'm so unlovable. No one loves me enough to take perfect care of me. In reality, it's like you care about this. You're trying to figure out, you have anxiety about this. You're trying to be caring while also maintaining your own sense of like your life. It's these kinds of feelings that are coming through. And I could talk on and on about that. But I sometimes, like I say this, I already said it. So I guess I don't need to continue. But basically, when it comes down to it, it's like your role is kind of like parent and theirs is child. You are caretaker and they are wounded one. You are like being made to be responsible for everyone's emotions, yours and theirs, because if you have emotions, they're not going to like it. They're going to be like, what? How could I possibly tend to your emotions? I'm tied up. I can't even see. It's that basically. So when we look at how you're feeling, I mean, we've talked about that some, but for you, we have the 5 of Wands. For this person, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So I would say, again, here's the conflict. Okay. I think they're causing fights, or their expectations are causing feelings like, you can't get on the same page. Like you can't get to a place where you're all in agreement. It's like you both, you're wanting to get along and you're wanting to come to a place of like compromise, mutual understanding. Like I wonder if you maybe don't even understand why you're fighting a lot of the time, or why they seem to keep getting mad at you. You're like, what did I do now? Like, it's this kind of thing. Like, is this normal? Like, maybe you haven't dealt with this with anyone else, or like, it's just starting to feel like very draining on your energy, very exhausting. And I think we see that with the 9 of Swords too, is like, you're tired. Like, even if you are technically getting enough sleep, this is draining you. So you are tired and you just want to get in bed and like sleep and not think about it, because it's exhausting and it feels like competition. And like, no one wants to be in competition with their partner or who they are closest to, or like a close person in their life. Like, it does feel like weirdly competitive for some reason. And I feel like it's about this person's like emotions or their needs. And like, they have like an excessive amount of needs. And it's something like this. And so your feelings are about how stressful this is and trying to figure it out. I think you might be very like in your head about it. I mean, you might be having a lot of feelings about it, but I feel like you're trying to like mentally figure it out. You may even be talking to other people about this, like trusted people, like, this is what they said and this is what I said, and I'm trying to understand if I did something wrong here because this is how they reacted. So you might also be like talking to trusted confidants and trying to sort this out. Or like, I even think like for some of you, you're trying to sort it out with like Chat GPT or something like that, where you're like, okay, try not to side with me. This is what one person said. This is what the other person said. Like, who's in the wrong? Like, it could be something like that. Or maybe you're even being encouraged to do something like that. And like, if you do something like that, like, I'm not telling you should use AI. Chat GPT will side with you unless you take certain measures to ensure that it doesn't know. Like, if you're going to feed a conversation in there, you should probably not identify which one you are, in order to get real info. But anyway, when it comes to this person's feelings, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like they think things are a lot of work right now. So, I mean, there's positive and negative here. So they're feeling like it's a lot of work. They feel like they're having to put in too much work. This is, again, reminding me of group 1 a little bit, but it is unreal, because if they are, I'm speechless. I'm speechless, because again, it's this really weird perspective that they have, where an equal, quote unquote, relationship is when someone else takes care of them. And so they think they're putting a ton of work into a relationship when they're basically taking. Crazy. Crazy. But there's also abundance in this card, and there's also happiness in this card. So I think that this person still like wants this relationship. They like love and care about you. They want to put work in. They maybe just don't understand I literally think they don't understand what they're doing. Like, I think some of it they do. I think like people are always aware at least a little of the things they're doing, but I think they're not fully consciously aware of the things that they do or their patterns or the way they're coming across or the reason that they like maybe ruin relationships. But I think that they also, they want to give, they want to put effort and work in, and that I think that their version of that is kind of distorted. I think they maybe also want stability and security and safety, and they may be saying they want that. And I think that's real. I think they do want that. They want balance. But the thing is I don't think that they understand what true balance is. And until they can understand that and absorb it, they won't be able to give in this way that they think they're giving. So let's look a little bit more at the expectations that you each are having right now. So yours is temperance. Theirs is the 7 of Swords. Okay. So I would say that you likely are still wanting healing in this relationship. You are wanting to have balance between you, harmony. You want to with temperance, we see often like 2 vessels pouring into one another. And so this makes me think again of balance between you, where you both give, you both receive, and it is somewhat equal, somewhat similar, where you are also getting needs met, also getting wants met. And so this is your expectation, is that you are working this out, that you are going to work this out, and that it is going to be okay. You may have prayed about this. You may have asked the angels for help. And so you're really, I think, expecting it to work out. I think you are hoping it will, and that you're still willing to put in energy and time and effort and to work this out and to reduce anxiety on both sides and to find stability and balance. And to find like positive change, and so that you can have peace and harmony. I think you really, really want to have more peace in this relationship and have things feel like they're flowing, and that things are a lot less conflicting, I guess. So this other person has the 7 of Swords as their expectation. So this isn't like great. I think that even though they have like love for you and they still want to work things out, they're in conflict with themselves. So they are out for themselves in some way, and they may not be selfish in every aspect. They may be very generous in certain ways. They may be very wonderful in certain ways. I actually think they probably are really wonderful in certain ways. And yet they are kind of out for themselves. I think like they do want safety and security. And we see this little red hat here, and it's like, yeah, I want safety and security. That color always makes me think root chakra. But the thing is that in some way they don't really believe they're going to get it with someone else. And so again, we have this animal here with this like petaled collar neck thing. We see something very similar in this moon card with this figure I said was them. So again, we have this person who's kind of unreasonable, kind of doesn't see things for the reality that they are. I think this person doesn't truly understand how much you and other people have given them and are giving them. And again, they're a little bit out for themselves. Like they may think that getting safety and security is actually like taking care of themselves. And they may even think they're like prioritizing themselves in a healthy way, or like being selfish in a healthy way. Like they may actually think it's like a good thing because they don't really understand what like healthy selfishness is. They think that like, so they may like hide things from you, for example. Like it may be small things, maybe big things. They may not fully tell you the truth because they don't want to get like quote unquote punished for it, or they don't want to get in trouble. There are things that they specifically will not tell you or reveal to you because they know you won't like it and they don't want to deal with your reaction. So their version of safety is to protect themselves in this way. But in reality, it tears down any kind of a foundation or a sense of stability that you would have with another person. And so I don't think that they realize this, but they are, what's the word I'm looking for? Not jeopardizing. I mean, they are jeopardizing this relationship, but I don't know what the word is, but basically they are going to be the reason for the downfall if this relationship ends, because if they don't become more honest, because there's some deceit here, if they aren't transparent, if they don't see what they're doing and also see what you're doing, because it seems like they see themselves as doing a lot more good than they are, and they see you doing it more bad than you are, which is really interesting in a bad way, I guess. But yeah, I think if they don't wake up, they're going to be the reason that this relationship fails, basically. And I don't want to scare you, but I think you're probably already aware that like there's a potential that this isn't going to improve, but there is also potential that it could. So I want to look at your current relationship. We'll look at the foundation, we'll look at the strengths, and we'll look at the challenges, and we'll see, how that's looking. And then we'll look at the future and like what you can do, because if you want to hang on to this relationship and you want to heal this relationship, let's find out what you can possibly do, So, for group 3, let's talk about their current relationship with this person. Can you tell me about the foundation? Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups for the foundation. Let's talk about the strengths. The Ten of Pentacles. Let's talk about the challenges. Okay, we have the High Priestess. So, okay. Let's do this. So group 3. Okay, so when we look at the foundation of this connection that you have, we do have the Knight of Pentacles. So that does lend to there being some sort of foundation here. I'm thinking like Page, Knight, Queen, King. And I talked about this a little bit in group 1, but like when you think of a foundation, you might think of like 4 sides. It's making me think there are 2 solid sides because it's Page, Knight. And so I think that there's like a half of a solid foundation, but it's not a fully solid foundation because it's not solid on all sides. So I think that this person has put in some effort. You've put in some effort, but, it may be their fault, or it may just be your dynamic that it's not completely solid. So I think even like half the time it feels solid, half the time it doesn't feel solid. It's like, it could be a little wobbly, or it feels solid, but something could knock it down. With this Seven of Cups, I kind of wonder if part of the reason it's not fully solid is that one or both of you is either starting to get to the point where you're starting to consider other options. Like, do I want to stay in this relationship? Is this healthy for me? Do I want to have more distance? Like, it could even be like trying to figure it out. Like, should I work on my boundaries? Is it my fault? Is it their fault? Like, there's a lot of confusion and like uncertainty. And I think that's where it makes the foundation kind of wobbly. And it also kind of feels like it's not, the Knight isn't fully mature. And so it could be an issue with like full maturity on one side. I'm guessing their side based on everything that we saw. And like, this Knight has this pentacle with this like fancy ribbon on it. And so it kind of feels like, see here. So I wonder if like in the past, they were like worse in other relationships or something. And with you, it's like, oh, see, I'm gonna be reliable, I'm gonna be dependable, and I'm gonna put the work in. And yet they don't fully understand what that looks like or what it entails. And so they think they're doing like a really good job is how it's coming through. And they're like, wow, look at this amazing gift I gave you. And yet it's not like really solid, but it does have potential. And there's certainly potential in the Seven of Cups as well, where there really is the potential to like form a stronger relationship. We have this tree. You could think of this like strong rooted tree of like this long lasting wonderful thing. There's like, it feels like there are options where it's like, well, I choose myself or they choose themselves. There's a snake, which, can be about transformation. So it can be about like, well, this relationship could change, or it could also be about like someone kind of being a little bit of a snake, whether they realize it or not. So basically what I want to say about the foundation is it's not fully there. There is potential though. There is potential if this is something you really want to work. When we look at the strengths in the relationship, we have the 10 of Pentacles. That's great. So there really are some strengths here. There are some good things. I wonder if, if this isn't romantic, this could be a family member. And so it could be that, the family is stronger when everyone gets along, but it is a sense of family. So it could also be that like your families really like one another, and that's been really a positive. Or you have, all of your friends are the same. So you have tons of mutual friends, or you have communities that are the same, or that you may have a home that you have together, and you might have pets, you might have children. These kinds of things like add to it being abundant and stronger, and that like these connections add to the strength of this relationship, and also potentially like help it to be healthier. So if someone's being unreasonable, for example, a family member or a friend may say, hey, that was kind of weird. Like, I wonder if group 3 thought that was like, made them feel weird. And then they're like, oh, sorry. Like, it may give them more perspective. And so there is some strength here in the other people, or even in like what you have built together. Like maybe the foundation's kind of weak, but like, yeah, like maybe you have a home together, maybe you have a pet together or something. And so that's something that is really, that you both enjoy, and that draws you together, or maybe your pets really love one another or something. But that is a strength. When we look at a challenge, we have the High Priestess. So, okay, a couple things here. There could be a challenge with trusting your intuition, this being like the psychic card. It may feel harder to trust your intuition in relation to this person, because if they are hiding things, it can confuse you and feel confusing. That leads me to the fact that there may be things being hidden from you, again, like I said, because the High Priestess can be about hidden knowledge. And so sometimes that can be about someone hiding something from someone else. Often the hidden knowledge can be a good thing. Sometimes it's not. And I think that with it being the number 2, it's like, we could be equal. We could be in an equal partnership here, and like, let's be transparent with one another. But one person is and one person isn't. It's like we have this white tree over here and this dark tree over here. And so I think like it's like someone could be more transparent and someone's being more in the shadows. So the challenges are that you're not on the same page, that there are some things hidden. There may be some things that are just hidden in general because this person has like subconscious stuff they're not aware of, and you're confused because they maybe sound like they know themselves really well. And so you're like constantly trying to understand what's happening. So those are really the challenges with things not being very clear, and that someone's not as transparent, or someone's like more in the shadows than the other person. Them. I mean, also if we think right and left, you are on the right, they're on the left, you're more maybe transparent and honest and clear, and they are less so. So let's get to the point of this. We're looking at the future of this connection, where it's headed. So we're going to look at how things are progressing and going right now, what you need to know about this other person, how you can get the outcome you want, and then we'll do oracle cards for advice. Okay. So where is this relationship headed? How are things progressing right now? Okay. We have the 5 of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Swords. I keep wanting to say wands with the arrows, but it's swords. Okay, so what do you need to know about this other person right now? the Three of Wands. Okay, can you tell me a little bit more? Death. Okay. And how can group 3 get the outcome they want? Okay, we have the Four of Swords. Let's get one more for you. Okay, we have Judgment. Okay. Let's just do this. For where things are currently progressing, and of course, things can always change. We have the Pentacles and we have the Ace of Swords. I'm sorry, the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So, some of it is like a continuation of the same thing. Listen, look, the baby. I don't know why I keep hearing that they want to be the baby, but we've got the baby and we've got the parent. It's like, oh, ouch, I'm hurt. Like, please take care of me. Like, and, also with these pentacles here, again, it's making me think that this person feels like safety and security is like when someone takes care of them, which of course people love being taken care of, but it's like, I don't think that they don't understand on some level that a relationship between two equals is not possible. Like, well, you're not two equals, basically. It's not possible to have an equal relationship where both people feel like happy and they're getting their needs met. When your idea of safety and security is just you being taken care of and you don't have to do anything to help. So basically what this is telling me is some of the same themes are actually going to continue, but I think that you're actually becoming more and more aware of what's happening. If you weren't already, it starts to become more obvious. And again, I don't think this person is meaning to do this. They seem to see things in a very different way than what's actually happening. But at the same time, with the Ace of Swords, this can be about getting clarity, having success, having things be positive, and having a fresh start. So this could be that you make a decision to stop doing this and you move on and you have more happiness. But it could also be that there is a chance, like I said, there is potential here for some of you. There is a chance that, especially if this person is willing to be more clear-minded and to see what they're doing, if there is clarity, there could be success in this relationship. There could be growth. It could move forward in a very positive way. But it's potential. Again, it's potential. So let's look here in the middle to what you might need to know about this person. And we have the Three of Wands and we have Death. So one thing is, they could be planning on ending this. And that could sound surprising based on a lot of the other stuff that we saw where they want to make it work and all of this stuff. The thing is that I think, like I said, I think there's an emotional regulation thing happening. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing if people struggle to regulate their emotions. It's not. There's a variety of reasons for that. But I think that this person, part of the issue with them is that aspect of things, because I think that they become manipulative about it. And maybe unintentionally, but I think that also there's an inconsistency with them because of like really big ups and downs with their emotions. So they may want to work it out one day and end it the next. They may love you one day and not love you the next. And you probably have already experienced some of this where it leaves you feeling pretty confused. And I wonder if there's a little bit of gaslighting happening, again, whether they mean to or not, because you're like, hey, it seems like you didn't want to hang out with me the other day, or like, it seems like you didn't want to be there, or like we planned that date and then you were kind of in a bad mood. And they're like, what? No, I wasn't. It's like that kind of thing. And they may think they weren't. So it makes me think that what you need to know about them is there are ups and downs. Their beliefs about things change. Their ideas about what's happening change. The reality of what's happening in front of them, their reality about it seems to change. I also think that it's possible that this person kind of idealizes like breakups, endings, darkness, being a victim, that kind of thing. It's giving me the vibes of being like a teenager, a depressed teenager, and like you're very dramatic about like these kinds of things, like where it's like they kind of never grew out of something. And it's not that you can't be dramatic or like you can't enjoy like certain things, like, but what it feels like is that it feels immature. And so what you need to know about them is their mind changes a lot. Their plans change all the time. They may not tell you what their plans are. They could be very suddenly deciding they want an end to something because of just how they feel that day, or that they want something different or something new. And so there's a caution indicated here if this sounds familiar to you, because this person can't be counted on, not currently anyway. I think there's a potential for change, but it doesn't look good right now. And it kind of feels like with these two figures here that they would wound the both of you in the process, and that wouldn't be a problem for them, because again, I kind of think they like being the victim a little bit, or they get something out of it. And probably we all do, and probably we're all dramatic sometimes because we want attention or something. I don't know. But it kind of feels like, you know, they would get something. They would get attention from other people if there was like an end to the relationship, or if something like that. So I would be cautious if that seems like something they could do. So let's look at how you can get the outcome you want. And maybe the outcome you want is to be together with this person and be happy. Maybe the outcome you want is to end it. Maybe you just want to be happy and have a break. We have the Four of Swords, rest. Maybe you really just want some rest. We have Judgment. We have a butterfly and some moths. And so I think there's some transformation energy here as well. And the number 20 in Judgment reduces in numerology to the number 2, which makes me think of partnership and the two of you, and you may be wanting a beautiful transformation when it comes to the relationship. But whatever it is that you do want, and how you can get what you want, is to make a call. You know, with the Judgment card, you have to be in charge in a way of like making the call, deciding whether or not this is worth it. In the Judgment card, we also see some death. Like we see dead people coming back to life. We have death over here. It's your call whether or not you want to deal with this like person's antics, or if you want to deal with like breakup, makeup energy, because that might be happening as well. So is that something you want to deal with? Are you also willing to put to death like old things? Like if this person is willing to change, are you willing to let go of the things that they have done or that they might still do? Are you willing to like see from a higher perspective and be the bigger person, you know? And it feels kind of like, is this a possum? It's like the possum is like playing dead too. So I don't know. There's a lot here about potential like endings, or if there's like ups and downs where you break up, you make up, you break up, you make up. And there's something here about you needing to be very clear about what you want. What do you want in this relationship? And what do you want as a person? What do you want to experience? What kinds of feelings do you want to have day to day? And you may need to take some time off to rest and consider this, and take some time off from like their antics, I want to say, and like maybe even not communicating so much, so that you can actually get a little bit of space to figure this out. So, before this gets any longer, let's get your oracle cards. So for you, we have Earth, the number 6. We have Snake. Okay. We've got the number 2. It says the Bard's Song. And finally, we have the number 40, Live Oak. It says longevity and reliability. Okay. So, okay. Okay. Stop. Okay. Okay, well, I'm thinking like, let's look at the numbers. We've got 6, we've got 2, and we've got 4. Harmony and balance. A couple or a partnership, 2 people. We've got stability and security. So there's a desire for this harmony in relationship and security and stability and seeking those out and wanting to experience these with someone. And also there's so much magic in these cards and wanting to experience like a magical, happy relationship. I don't know if you're going to have that with this person. Okay. Like, yes, there is potential. I saw potential, but it might require a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice on your part. But let's talk about the advice. Okay. So when we look at the earth, the snake card, snakes are often about transformation. We literally see a snake shedding its skin. Okay. So, and healing and becoming new and fresh. It also feels like we have these crystals that it feels like the snake is being protective of. And so it's like, it feels like being protective of yourself, what you want in relationship. We have 2 crystals. Being protective of the feeling of magic. I don't know if this person ruins stuff. Being willing to experience change. I mean, change in the relationship or change in how you are in relationships or changing the relationship completely by removing yourself from it possibly. This can be about letting go, letting the past be the past and moving on, whatever that would mean for you. Being willing to change, to grow, being, it can be about being flexible, but I kind of feel like you've already been pretty flexible. So I don't want you to be more flexible, but, it could be about releasing an old relationship, but it also could be releasing old wounds. So if you have things that you also need to release in order to be better in this relationship, or if this person is willing to change and willing to do the actual work, you may need to, if that's what you want, then you may need to be willing to release the things that they have done that have been hurtful, because otherwise you won't be able to move forward. If they change, but you can't let go, it won't go anywhere. But for some of you, this may be about totally moving on. So with this second card here, this card in this deck is also about release. It can be about having breakthroughs. We have this musician here playing a little harp, and we've got like flutes and things. And it's about the Bard's song. So this can be about music or singing or song being very healing. And so if you are someone who plays music, if you play an instrument, if you sing and you haven't been doing that, you may want to get back into it because you may find it healing, or you even write a song or write a poem, which ends up getting your emotions on paper and you can figure out what you really want to do. Maybe you make music together and that's a bonding thing if this is something you are trying to work out. Also, singing can activate the vagus nerve. And so if you sing or if you do there's a lot of stuff you can do to activate the vagus nerve, and that can release some anxiety and some overthinking and some tension which you've been obviously experiencing. This can be about expression in whatever way that is for you, if that's a different way than we talked about. But I also feel like this is really like opening your heart to yourself, saying what's truly on your mind, maybe putting it on paper, maybe saying it to the other person or saying it to someone else. Letting your emotions flow, whether that is laughter or tears or like punching a pillow because you're angry, and letting what you're feeling be okay and be released, because that is also going to help. Spending time near a warm fire or having a warm bath or a warm drink could be very beneficial for you right now and calming you down. Drawing, writing, that kind of stuff. If we look at this live oak tree, this is such a beautiful card. I always love when I pull it, but it can be about the long view, planning for the long term. We have longevity. The oak is this long, old growing tree. So when you're planning for the long term and you have to sort of assess whether someone is also in it for the long term if they are reliable, if they are steadfast, if they can weather the storms of life with you, if they can be protective and loving and stable. Is this person capable of that? Is that something you need to be happy? And is this person in it for the long haul? Do you feel like you can form a solid foundation? Can you grow something together? And will you be able to receive in a somewhat equal way to what you give? So that's all I've got for you today. Group 3, I really appreciate you spending this time with me. If this reading was helpful in any way, please let me know. And I will see you again soon, okay? Bye. Hi, Group 4. You chose the Pyrite and the Mystic Fairy Tarot. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at a relationship on your mind today and where it's currently headed. So we will start with an energy check, and that should let you know whether or not you have found a group that is yours. If it doesn't ring any bells, oh, sorry, you probably want to see me shuffle these, huh? If it doesn't ring any bells, try another group. If you don't find yourself in any group, I am so sorry. But I'm doing 4 today to try to get more energies. But I will say 1 and 3 had some similarities. So let's get into it. So for the energy check, I would like to look at sort of the energy or the dynamic between you right now. And then we'll look at your role, feelings, and expectations at the current moment and the other person's role and feelings and expectations. Then we will get into the current relationship and then into the future. Okay? So for group 4, can you tell me what the current energy or dynamic is? We have the King of Wands. And we have the 2 of Wands. You know, I kind of want to pull a third, but let's get cards for your energy and theirs first. So what is your current role in this relationship, this connection? The 2 of Pentacles. What are your current feelings in this connection? What do we have here? The Empress. Okay. And what are your current expectations? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Let's look at their role right now in the relationship, the person on your mind. We have the 3 of Wands. What are their feelings? Okay, that's too many. Let's just get one. The Magician. And then we want their current expectations. A lot of cards keep falling out for them. I also kind of wonder if you're a little more easier to read than this person is, just in general. Because your cards came out really fast and theirs are taking some time. and I don't want you to take that as a bad thing, because I don't think that it is. And their expectations are the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Do I want to pull a third for the energy between you? We have the Priest, which is the Hierophant. Don't know where to put it though, because I've kind of filled the space up, but we'll just put it there. Okay, well, I want to say that this is already an established relationship, because I cannot help but keep thinking that for some of you, you're getting married, or you're wanting to get married, wanting to get engaged, or it could be something that's not that, but like taking another step in a relationship. Or you see certainly see a future with this person. This feels pretty positive right off the bat. But of course, let's get into it. Okay. So when we look at, here, let me just grab all of these so that you can kind of see them. So when we look at the energy and the dynamic between you right now, we have the King of Wands, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, and it feels like you're planning something together. This Two of Wands. So it's really cute. It kind of feels like your two kids like making a deal, because that's kind of what it looks like here, but it's also the energy. And I'm not saying that like you're doing something immature, like, oh, we're getting married and you think we're just two kids. No, but it's something like it feels like positive. It feels like, innocent. It feels pure. Something about it feels very pure. And like there's a playful aspect too, even if it is a very serious thing, like a certain kind of a commitment or moving into a home together or something. And we see these two little fairies like shaking hands, and it's like, yeah, let's make a deal. Like you're on the same page about something that you want to do. This could be that like you're not even dating this person yet, and you're like agreeing to even date and be in a committed relationship. It could be, again, I do get marriage vibes for some people here. Like we're getting engaged, we're getting married, we're planning a wedding, or we are moving in together, something like this. So, it feels like that's something that's happening right now, or it's really been on both of your minds, or you're working toward something like this. And it seems like you're both on the same page when it comes to this and wanting whatever this is. Both of you seem to want it. The Hierophant also reiterates this. It talks about, oftentimes the Hierophant can be about marriage, literally, and like two people getting married. And this Hierophant here is not crossing his fingers, but it keeps making me think of crossed fingers, and it's kind of like wanting something to work out, and it holding, like, it might be a bubble, but it kind of looks like a little crystal ball. So it kind of feels like there's some like, let it work out, let everything be okay. If like, for example, you've got a wedding coming up, you're like, let's hope everyone cooperates. So like, let's hope everyone did what I told them they needed to do. And like, not that you're being a bride or groomzilla or whatever gender you are, but more like, people are always difficult when it comes to these kinds of things, and it's like none of their business. And maybe they don't even realize they're being difficult, because sometimes people just don't know what to do. But there is some like crossing fingers, but it's also like, if it's like, oh, like I really hope this person wants to be in a relationship with me. And it's like this crystal ball feeling of like, I can see the future. Like I could see us being happy. Like I could see it being so many things that I want. And it feels like it could be very grounded and very like long-term. And it's like, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping the other person feels the same. And so there's something there with just kind of hoping for the best, and hoping that you're not delusional, or hoping that, again, it's like if it's a wedding or something that other people are involved in, it even could be something like a baby shower or something, or like even like maybe like you're having a baby and you haven't told people yet or something like that. And either you're afraid that people are going to be weird about it, so you're like hoping that they're not, or you're also just considering these kind of like traditional things. The the Hierophant, sorry. He's the high priest, but it can really be about tradition. So you may be kind of thinking about taking sort of traditional steps, like, getting your white picket fence, having kids with someone, getting married, those kinds of activities. So then we also have this King of Wands. So, this isn't traditionally what I would get from the King of Wands, but I am getting like, and I do get this with wands cards, but like physical attraction, like physical chemistry. So I don't know if that's just really a thing between you where you're very, very attracted to one another. That makes sense with the energy here, but there also could be like a resurgence of that happening right now, where you're like extra into each other, and like Can't wait to be around this person. That kind of thing can be happening. But also because we also have this with the Hierophant, and I see the King of Wands as being always very uniquely himself, very authentic to himself, but it's in an unusual and unique way. And then we have this traditional card. And so, but it looks kind of non-traditional as well. So I think there's something non-traditional here, either in your relationship, like the way that you two are with each other, or your expectations for the relationship. Maybe it's different than the norm, or you've kind of made it to suit you two and it's not what necessarily other people would do. Or if it's something like a wedding, maybe there are some non-traditional aspects to that as well. Or you're kind of planning how to make it more personally applicable to you. Like, how can this be special and very much us? So overall, like, this feels so positive, and it seems that you're in this energy where it's sort of a fresh start, but not a fresh start. It's like, it seems to be that something is happening. It may be new. It may be a start of some kind, but it feels like there's already some kind of established energy here. So let's look at individually how you both are showing up. So let's start with the role that I'm seeing for both of you. And this isn't to like pigeonhole you into being like, this is who you are in the relationship. It should just be some confirmation. Obviously, we play lots of roles, and we're multidimensional and faceted and all those things. But as far as how your role is coming through, it's the Two of Pentacles. Theirs is coming through as the Three of Wands. So I would say right now, and again, this is making me think that you're like planning something. So actually, let's start with this other person with the Three of Wands. This can definitely be a planning card. I mean, the Two of Wands usually is a little bit more of that. But the Three of Wands is somewhat similar, but it's also kind of like waiting for your ships to come in. So you've done some planning. So this person is coming through as, if you are planning something, a move, an event, things like that. This person seems to be doing some of the planning. So it doesn't, but I actually think you both are. You're both coming through as kind of working toward whatever this is. And so it seems like there's some mutual energy, which sometimes, you kind of worry, like if it's something like a wedding or something, there's like one person doing more of the work, whether they want to or not. But it does seem like there's some things on both of your sides. It could be too that this person has some plans that you don't know about yet, but it feels positive. Like they may want to surprise you with something. So I don't want to get too much into that, because if that's the case, I don't want to ruin any surprises. But they could have like something cute up their sleeves. It feels like you are balancing a lot right now. And so even though I do feel like you are also working towards something with this person, you are balancing the relationship with you have with them and trying to put in enough and make sure that they feel taken care of in the ways that they need to. But it seems like you might be balancing other things as well. I mean, the Two of Pentacles is often about balance and juggling and multitasking and having multiple things on your plate. So you could be balancing this relationship and other relationships, or maybe there is kind of like discord among relationships, and you're sort of having to try to harmonize, or you are balancing multiple jobs while also balancing this relationship and moving toward it. Or like, you've got like school or work, or school and work and relationships. And I don't know, it just seems like you've got a lot kind of going on right now. And it seems like you're doing a good job. And that maybe you're even keeping like an internal cool and a calm about it, or it seems like that from the outside. But yeah, I think this person definitely has you on their mind a lot. I think you do too, but you've got some other stuff going on. And so, this is coming through less as it being your role. Honestly, I would say that it was a little more clear in the other groups, about it being more role centered. This isn't so much. It's just kind of what's going on and going through, maybe your heads and in your life right now. So, but I would say it's positive, of course. And then let's look at, if we look at current feelings for your person, we have the Magician. For you, we have the Empress. So I like this because we have two major arcana now here. And in these first cards, both of you minor. in these, oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, let me point this out. So in both of your cards for your role, minor arcana, for both of your cards for feelings, major arcana, for both of your cards for expectations, we've got court cards that are pentacles. So one thing I want to say is that you really do seem to be on the same page, like I said. So it could be about something specific, the things that I've mentioned, but it could also just be in your relationship. It really seems like there's a lot of balance happening right now, and that in a lot of ways you're on the same page, even if there's some differing energies or differing opinions or differing levels of understanding, but overall quite balanced energy, which, you really do like to see. And so, as far as this person, the other person's feelings, it's interesting because they're also juggling some things. So are you both really busy right now? Are you both juggling multiple types of relationships? Like, I'm not saying like multiple romantic relationships, but you know what I'm saying? Like relationships in your life. I mean, it could be romantic if that's, how you guys do things, but it also could be that, you're juggling multiple jobs or there just seems to be a lot going on for both of you. And I think that your person is definitely wanting to provide in some way. Sometimes that sounds like if someone's like providing, it can be like financial, and maybe that is, but it seems like they're maybe just trying to either contribute their part of the finances or contribute, like being present and available to you when you need them, even though they've got a bunch of other stuff going on. Or yeah, it's like they're trying to be present with the different aspects of life and the different aspects of you and the relationship. And so I would say they're kind of less in their feelings right now. Like it's not that this person doesn't have feelings, but it seems like they're kind of mental and kind of focused on like maybe to-do lists and like balance and handling everything. And that, yeah, there's with the Magician, we usually see swords, we see cups, we see pentacles and wands. So we see it all, And so where was I going with that? But basically this person does, have some feelings. We have cups here, but they're balancing other stuff. They're balancing the mental, they're balancing projects or work and relationships and making money and everything. So I would say that they're too busy to feel a lot of things right now. But if we were going to talk about feelings, I would say they're overall positive. Maybe being a little stressed. I would say that, possibly a little stressed, but overall positive and trying to be present and excited about something. And even though these are all fairies, I mean, this is a fairy deck. For some reason, the wings in the Magician are really making me think about butterflies and about transformation. So again, it does seem like something is transforming in your relationship right now. It's like a new start, but it's not a new start. It's like a progression, something like that. And they may be very focused on that right now. Your feelings are the Empress. So a little bit more in your feelings, probably. I mean, and it's not that this person isn't, but they're coming through as like having a lot of stuff kind of going on. But, oh yeah. Okay. So I did mention some of you are having a baby. That's not going to be for everybody, but the Empress, I mean, first of all, this specific one looks pregnant, but the Empress is often about pregnancy and birth and, creation, but that can include creation of a human being, like a child. So that could be confirmation for some of you. And so if that is the case, this is obviously something very much on your mind. And if that is the case, you are more than likely the pregnant one in this relationship since it's showing up on your side. But I should have mentioned this, you can swap roles. If you're identifying more with what I'm saying about this other person, just swap roles in your head. I'm still going to say that this is you because that's what we're doing. So on your side, yes. But it could also be that you're both very potentially focused on whatever it is we've talked about, you know your life and what's happening in it. I can't narrow it down and tell you it's for sure a wedding or a birth or, but whatever it is, you are also focused a lot on it. And so I think that both of you, your feelings and maybe your emotions are more centered around this thing and your relationship than anything else right now. And so again, this feels very balanced, very harmonious, very same page. And that, again, it just shows up slightly differently. But if it is something like a baby or like even getting a pet or something like that, you're kind of like, you're focused on how each of you will like feel and fit together. And this person is maybe focused on like, how can I make sure we can like afford this and everything like that. And also being, excited, of course, but fresh start energy in a way, growing something together, progressing in something together. That's top of mind. And I would say that your feelings are overall pretty positive. Like, yes, there could be some stressors that come in the way of like other people are just balancing a lot of things. But I would say the feelings are quite positive at the moment. So let's look at expectations. So for your person, Page of Pentacles, for you, Queen of Pentacles. So I would say pretty similar expectations. What I would say about this is that you're both expecting to move forward. You're both expecting to progress this relationship and grow something together that feels long-term, stable, reliable, dependable, grounded, safe, all of those things, where you both feel like taken care of, protected, and like, you're building something strong together that will last a lifetime or it's that kind of energy. So, I would say you're both expecting this, and that again, because it's like Page versus Queen, there may be some slightly different expectations because you're two different people, not because like, it's not like, oh, the Page is being a child about it and the Queen is the adult. I mean, that could ring a bell for you, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels more balanced. Though I do wonder if you do sometimes feel a little bit more mature than this other person, and that you want to ensure that they really are on the same page as far as like, this is long term and we both put the energy in here, right? Like there could be a little bit of that. So let's look at your current relationship. We'll look at the foundation, the strengths and the challenges, and then we will look at where things are headed. Okay, so for group 4, tell me about this relationship's foundation. How is that looking? The 4 of Pentacles. You know what? I don't even think we need another. I was going to do 2, but let's just keep going. So let's look at the strengths that exist right now in your current relationship. Okay, we have Temperance. And we have Judgment. Okay, let's look at any challenges currently in your relationship. We have the Hermit. And the 5 of Wands. Okay. All right, so when we look at the foundation, I do like to see this. So this is good. So the 4 of Pentacles, and I have said this in other groups where the foundation was not good. So I'm thinking like 4 solid sides, 4 legs in a table, 4 sides of a building. Like when we're thinking foundation, we really want stability. So we have a 4 here. And what do we have the 4 of? We have the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of stability is what I want to say. Again, this grounded energy of safety and stability. There's a solid foundation here, which again leads me to believe that most of you are in established relationships already and that this is not brand new. If it is brand new, seems like no wonder you're both wanting to move it forward because it feels so safe. And, I wonder if there could be some feelings of it feeling a little bit boring at times because it feels so safe, but that it is such a comfort and there's such an abundance. Oftentimes with the Four of Pentacles, it can be like hanging on too tightly. It can be like clutching on to things and maybe not even sharing them. But this feels more abundant. It's like there's a lot of abundance here. It feels like there's some sharing. I mean, maybe she doesn't notice that this mouse is taking something, but it feels like there's sharing and there's abundance between the two of you. And so I honestly don't want to say much more about that because it just looks like the foundation is quite solid and quite good. And it's the best one I've seen so far in the groups. And this is the last group. So when we look at strengths right now in your relationship, we have Temperance and we have Judgment. We have two major arcana cards. So it seems like there are some big strengths in this relationship, some really good things. With Temperance, this can be about harmony, balance, healing, like angelic protection. And angels always make me think of not only protection, but like just pure love. And so it feels like, yeah, you might be like, oh, it's not pure. Like, this person's annoying. Like, I'm not always just a loving angel all the time. And of course not. But, there's a lot of yellow in both of these cards, which is making me think of your solar plexus. And so I do think you both have a lot of like agency, your own individual agency and individual power in this relationship. So I think that you both feel heard, understood, respected, at least to a degree where it's like, it seems healthier than a lot of relationships where it doesn't seem like one person is overly dominant. There could be one that is a little bit more, but it feels quite, again, like balanced, like where you both have power, you both feel like you can say what you need to say, that you both feel like you can assert your boundaries as needed, and that you are yourselves together. So this is nice. And you also stand alone as two individuals. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, I never see group 4 by themselves. They always have the other person around. Like, it might be that people really like being with the both of you, but that you also have your own lives. Like, you're not just connected at the hip 24/7. It feels like you have some of your own things going on, but you do seem very well matched. And oh my God, both of these cards are angel cards. I totally forgot about that. Like, we have an angel in Temperance and we have an angel in Judgment. So it's like, first of all, people probably see you both as really wonderful and really, like, again, a good match. But it also kind of feels like you're a spiritual match. Like, your spirit guides, your angels, your loved ones on the other side are like, yes, these two. Like, there's something between you that was meant to happen. And it's a major, major relationship of your life in a healthy and a positive way overall. Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of love here and a lot of security and connection. And again, that's not to say it's perfect all the time, but it is very positive compared to certainly some of the other groups we've seen today, but also plenty of other relationships. And it feels like you're choosing each other in a lot of ways, and that this relationship benefits you in a lot of ways, or will benefit you if it really is at the beginning. And it does feel like, so a lot of times with the Judgment card, it's about like following a calling. And so I think that you are both following a calling by pursuing this relationship and growing something together. It does feel, I don't even want to say fated exactly, but like it's really positive for both of you individually and like for your life paths. It's like that kind of thing where this does seem to be like spiritually led in some way, like you were maybe meant to meet, meant to pursue this. It brings certainly many positives to your life, even if it's not perfect, because what is. But yeah, I mean, we have the energy of 2 here as well. And like, it feels like alignment, and that again, we have the Roman numeral for 20 for Judgment is XX. And so it feels like it's again, each of you stands on your own together. And that, it's like, because it's very balanced. It's like together, but separate, because you're each your own person. So let's look at challenges that could be happening in this relationship. We have the Hermit. We have the Five of Wands. Okay, so this could be a few things. I wonder. Well, okay, so it could be that one of you in particular is more of a hermit than the other, more of an introvert, more of a hide at home, more of a like do their own thing. I don't know if it's you or this other person, but it could be the case that someone is more hermity, and this could cause some disagreement. So the way that could show up, if that's the case, is where one person never wants to go to like social events, so the other person always has to go alone, or one person is just not as good socially or something like that. And so there could be some disagreements around that because of whatever insecurities that brings up or whatever frustrations that brings up for one or both of you. So that could be happening for some of you, and that could be a challenge where you are having a little bit of a disagreement on that. It does feel like someone thinks they know best sometimes. So that could be another scenario for some of you, because it kind of feels like whoever is showing up as the Hermit here could think that they are more wise. Maybe they're older, so they think they know more, or they kind of either can be like a know-it-all or a little bit controlling, or it's like, and if that's the case, it feels like it's this figure here on the right in the Five of Wands, like, here, take this, like, and the other person's like, I don't need that. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm an adult too. Like, it could be something like this where someone thinks that, maybe they meditated for years and they're like, well, I know a thing or two because I meditated. So let me tell you about everything you need to know about life. And you're like, shut up. Or like, it's the other way. Like, one of you could be like that. So it's something here where it does seem like it's either that there's an issue with like kind of like socializing or hermiting, isolating maybe, or being kind of a know-it-all, something like this. But it does seem that there are some disagreements happening, or maybe there's a competitive thing happening between you. So whether it may not be disagreements, it may be there's some kind of a competitive thing happening. It doesn't feel like a huge deal. It just feels kind of annoying is what I want to say. So as far as challenges go, it's not that bad, but it seems like you guys are having to work something out, or maybe communicate about something, and maybe there's a struggle to fully, whatever you are having disagreements about, you're like, it's a struggle to get you both to understand each other. Like, maybe one person's being more understanding than the other, or both of you are struggling to like fully understand. So let's look at where this is headed. So let's look at the future. So what I want to look at is how things are progressing, how they're moving forward, what you need to know about the other person right now, and how you can get the outcome you want. And then we have oracle cards for advice at the end. Okay. So if this is your group, I'm just going to grab some water. If this is your group, stick around. Okay. Where is this headed right now for group 4? Where is this relationship headed? What does the future look like? Where's it going? How is it progressing? The Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups. I'm hearing the start of something really, really beautiful. And the way that these, I don't know, are they vines in each of these cards, are like connecting? And so it feels like you're holding hands and like moving into a new beginning. Do I even need another card? I was going to pull another. I think... Let's pull one more. The Star. Cool. Okay. What do you need to know about the other person? The Knight of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Okay, how can you get the outcome that you want in this relationship? How can you have what you want? We have the Page of Wands. and the sun. Let me make sure you can see all this. Here, why don't we do this? Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Okay, so where is this headed? Well, to wonderful places. Okay. I think I even said in the intro, like, this isn't going to be your reading today if like things are wonderful, but like, I think that things are wonderful and that you still found your reading. Like I said many times over, there's something, a new cycle, a new phase of this relationship is beginning. And so clearly it hasn't happened yet, or there is more good coming. I mean, we love to see the Ace of Wands. We love the Ace of Cups. Certainly the Star. It's big things. This is big. So this is something like a major commitment, a major life change that you are undergoing together, a decision that you both have made. And it feels like you're both one of these aces and you're like, let's do this, baby. Like you may be a little different, but you still want the same thing. And there's so much love between you, so much affection between you. And even if, because I do, again, I get established energy, long-term energy for some of you. Some of you, this is newer. Some of you, it is not so new. And so again, there may be like a sense of it being like a little stale in some ways, but maybe because there's a new beginning, it's making things feel less stale if that has been there, because I see all these bubbles in both of these cards and it's just making me think of like a fresh bubbly energy. And because we have aces that are beginnings and starting something new and being excited and having love, emotional fulfillment, chemistry, like basically starting a new project, a new chapter, something really, big and beautiful that has a lot of potential for growth and feels very it feels very light, but it doesn't feel shallow. It feels like a big decision and that you are creating something new. And with the Star, we see her pouring 2 jugs. I don't know. Isn't there normally 1 jug? Maybe there are 2, but she's pouring 2 jugs into the water. So again, it feels like you are both represented here. There is not someone way more in control than the other, or like there's not this huge feeling of like out of balance or disharmony. There's a lot of balance here, and it feels like you're pouring into one another. You're pouring into the relationship. You're pouring into whatever it is you're growing together. And, and again, this can be something big because it's the Star. And it could be even that you're starting like a joint career project together. And that's a really big thing to do. And if that's the case, I would say it's going to go very well. But it does seem like the future looks very positive. Things are progressing in a really happy and positive and healing way. It feels like a renewal, a refreshing, it has very healthy energy. So it's going to good places. That's what it looks like right now. And like, this has been, very easy energetically to do this reading because it's so positive. Sometimes the heavier readings can, be a little bit more of a drain on my energy, and I get very tired after. I mean, I still sometimes get tired, from expending energy reading, but anyway, your energy is nice. So we're looking now at what you might need to know about the other person. Right now we have this Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. And I want to look at these cards for a minute, but my initial feeling is like, because the Knight of Swords can be kind of impulsive. So it feels like running toward this big life change, but that doesn't seem like a bad thing. It seems like a good thing, right? And I think sometimes I just get so used to the Knight of Swords being like not great, because you don't often want to see the Knight of Swords in a love reading, but that's usually like when you're first meeting someone. Even if you're first meeting this person, they don't have Knight of Swords energy. What it feels like again is that I actually feel like they're really looking forward to something happening with you. They're looking forward to a life with you, a big change, a new season, a new cycle, a new start, and finding like the calm in the center of life together. And that, maybe in the past they had much shorter relationships or something like that. That's not necessarily the case, but this one, they're like, well, I'll change my ways for you. It's like, I'm in this for the long haul. Yeah, I also feel like, I don't know, like they have a message there's something they've been wanting to tell you. It's positive. But again, this makes me think it has something to do with like whatever they're specifically not telling you right now, because it's like a surprise or something like that. So what you need to know about this person is they want this too. You know, I was kind of, for some reason, thinking there would be like, not a warning, but like it'd be like, well, you should know this, you know, like, okay. But it's actually like, it's like, don't worry, everything's good, you know? Wow, what a positive reading. So how can you get the outcome you want? How can you get what you want in relationship? Oh my God. Okay. So I swear to God, some of you are having a baby. Like, if nobody leaves a comment saying that they're having a baby, maybe someone will see this in the future, but you know, I've already talked about it. We have the Ace of Cups. That can also sometimes point to having a baby. This Sun card, first of all, it's often a child, but look at this one. She is holding a baby. And normally we don't have an adult in the Sun picture. We just have the baby or the child. And, you know, we've been getting pages. We have a page right here. Are you wanting a baby? Is that what's going on? Are you wanting a child? If it's not a baby, it could be a pet. And if it's not like a living thing, I mean, it could be a plant, but I don't think it is. It's a bigger thing. Children and babies can also point to a new start, a new project creation, creating something together in this case. It doesn't mean that you are necessarily creating a child. You could be, you know, again, moving in together. All the things that I've said. And so basically, this is less about how you can get it, and that, I mean, everything is already pointed to that's where you're headed. So, you know what? I didn't even want to pull these cards for you for some reason. When I had the deck and I was like, how can you get the outcome you want? I almost just wanted to stop there, but I didn't want you to feel like I didn't pull them for you when I pulled them for everyone else. You're going to get whatever you want. Whatever this, I'm not saying it's going to be like, you know, if you have a list of like 1,200 things that you want in the next year, I'm not saying like you're going to get all of that, but like whatever we've already been talking about, like, I think you know what I'm talking about, but you know, I got to specify. Sorry, listen, it's kind of late. I'm a little tired. It's bedtime, but we're going to finish your reading, and I'm very happy to do that because we already have your oracle cards pulled. We have for you Dragonfly. It's air. It's the number 7. I mean, I already saw this because I pulled it, but I forgot, and I got excited because I had dragonflies be like a good sign for me all summer this year. So I just want to say this feels quick. And we have all these bubbles. We had so many bubbles in the other cards. And stars. There's something good, man. And then I also, okay, wait, I'll get into it. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm getting off track with you for some reason. So we also have the number 16, Fairy Godmother. We have the number 44, Armadillo Basket, Grounding and Fierce Protection. You know, when I pulled your oracle cards, I wasn't trying to decipher them, but you know, I glance at them. Sometimes it's like, okay, this might be a theme in a group. It might not. I had no idea. I was like, okay, I guess we'll find out. So let's look at these now. Okay. So with this air and the dragonfly card, I also wanted to point out someone knows what these are. I don't remember what these plants are. But there's 2 of them. And again, it's making me think about you too, and that there is luck here. There is luck on your side. There is positivity. There are good things coming. So if you are doing a specific thing, it is going quite well. If you are just progressing and growing your relationship, that's also going quite well. It feels really lovely. And we have this sort of like dusk energy where it just feels like a warm summer night, and like there's a happiness and like a coziness in the air, you know? And this card is also about the winds of change. and so this is positive change for you. You're obviously moving towards some kind of change, and having a lightness of spirit as much as possible with this change is going to be really helpful. And that certainly if you are worried about any aspects of this change, you are strong and will be just fine. And if you need to lean on your inner strength, like again, I keep getting wedding. So some of you are having a baby. Some of you are getting married. I know this for sure. Okay. It's not going to be everybody, but, if you are having a wedding, for example, that other people are going to be at, you're not just eloping or something like that, you may have to have some inner strength to survive the challenges. And this is coming up here as well, so we'll get to it. The challenges of people misbehaving possibly, or being difficult, or thinking they know best, that kind of thing, because sometimes that happens. But also, this talks about air magic, and I don't know a lot about air magic, the magic of air, but if you like magical things, if you like to do magic, and maybe you know about air magic, or you could research or look up like some kind of air magic, I'm kind of thinking right now that like feeling everything in your body, like if anything's getting stressful related to any of this, like kind of like focusing on all of it in your body, and then like forcefully blowing it out of your body, like something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've got for that. So let's look at the fairy godmother card. This is so good to see. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm like, I should be more professional, but I can't help it. Okay. And some people don't like my personality, and that's fine. But this is a really wonderful card. And look, again, we have all these stars. So there's this like starry quality happening, this happy, like make a wish on a star and it's going to come true. Like your your fairy godmother is here to grant your wishes, babe. So if you've got a wish specifically related to any of this person, whatever's going on with you guys, make that wish. Be very clear about what you want and send it out to be granted, and be very grateful for the things that are going well and for the wonderful things that are happening. You may get an unexpected good surprise or gift. Again, this could be coming from this other person. It could come from someone else, but you can have what you want. Being clear about it may be important, and like clearly speaking it in some way. I mean, you don't have to say it out loud. You can write it down. You can have it in your head, but being very clear on what it is you want. And that can be what you want in this relationship long term. It could be if you're buying a house or moving into an apartment together, like thinking of the aspects of that you really want. If you are having a wedding, how you want things to go, whatever it is that's going on for you, be clear about what you want and send it out to the universe, because it seems like you're having wishes granted right now. And that, things may not be perfect. Let's be realistic here. But I think too, if any opportunities come your way, go ahead and take them. Or if good things are offered, pursue them. Finally, we've got the armadillo basket, grounding and fierce protection. So there is some advice to ground yourself, to do grounding type of activities if you don't normally do those, especially, but if you do, to do more of them, but especially if anyone's being difficult, because this card is making me think about anyone being kind of difficult, or you just having kind of stress, and grounding yourself and kind of coming out of your head would be helpful. But because this says fierce protection, it's not just protection, it is fierce protection. This can be about protecting yourself and protecting others. So this can be about, if anyone is being difficult, then don't be afraid to have strong boundaries. Don't be afraid to do what you need to protect yourself and potentially be protecting this other person that you are with if anyone's being difficult with them. But also if you are having like a child, you may need to be very protective of, and I'm not saying be like overprotective, but like, for example, if you are pregnant and you are at a doctor who is giving you advice that feels very, very wrong, trust your intuition. So it's that kind of thing. It may not be that, but I'm just trying to give you examples, but you just may need some greater boundaries right now, security, or that kind of thing, safety, and deciding who is safe to let your guard down with. But you just may need to be more kind of protective right now of yourself and of others, and your things. Yeah, and protective of your relationship. We have the number 44 here. So we have a 4 and a 4. And it's like, yeah, again, I feel like it's you and them, balanced, stable. And it's like protecting each of you and protecting the relationship. And 44 is reduces down to 8 in numerology. And that's abundance. So to be abundant, be safe to be abundant, basically. Protect yourself for abundance. And yeah, so... And also, like, I do feel like I also want to tell you to, there's all this blue and it's making me think of, it often makes me think of your throat chakra and speaking up for yourself and doing that to protect yourself and others as well. And being very confident and assured of yourself and what you need and what you don't need, and not hiding or making your needs hidden for the sake of others. I think it's, communicating clearly right now and being confident is something you should definitely consider doing. And then, protect whatever it is you're nurturing, this relationship or anything else. And just be aware of the reality of the situation in case anyone is being difficult. But overall, everything looks wonderful, just completely wonderful. So that's all I have for you today, Group 4. I so appreciate you spending this time with me. If you did enjoy this reading or found it helpful, let me know by liking the video. Leave a comment if you would like, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.